Cam and Strick Podcast, episode number
308. Yoink. What's up?
My day did not start off great today.
No, it didn't. You and a couple other people.
You don't know about my day.
You and a couple other people.
Hey, some people have tougher days than others.
Hey, no doubt about it, man.
Hey, you never know what somebody's going through.
I know.
You
Always think that way.
You don't know what I'm going through today.
What is it? You always over-exaggerate.
I spilled coffee everywhere this morning before I left the house. I picked up my cup, my green cup.
Yeah.
It keeps it a little warm here for the pregame.
Yeah.
Before we get into the interview, because Cam is just, hey, he just wants to talk, and you're getting fact checked by like crazy from. I mean, Cam's just talking, you know. So my coffee to make sure that it doesn't get
so you
cold.
spilled coffee. What happened?
All Ivy's iPad, everything.
Oh no. Okay,
that
puts money involved. That's a little more money involved.
Well, it's spilled everywhere. She had her iPad on the counter.
Yeah.
So I'm cleaning up that mess, which is why I got here right on time. I still got here on time.
You know, there's people like grinding it out there too.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Honestly, grinding it. Maybe in war,
just
in Eastern Europe. There's so many people going through so many different things. And Andy talks about spilling his Starbucks coffee on poor Chloe's laptop. There's kids out there that don't even have laptops. They would love a laptop, you know? So that's Andy's day. It's tough. It's tough.
Yeah. You're really getting fact checked from, and I love the fact checkers.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll get you guys sponsored. Listen, you're part of the team, just so you know. They're like ABC News fact checkers.
Yeah. ABC News? Go ahead. What'd they say?
Because this is
Danny didn't tell me about this.
No, this is actually like really funny.
All right.
Because it's something you were
going
so
with it, man.
passionate about.
Get going, though.
And,
you know
then, and then you were wrong about it, so I just have to really get to it here.
It happens.
Dude, you're talking about Leon Draisaitl having a cologne?
Oh, yeah.
He's from Cologne.
That's what it is.
Yes.
No. I saw...
No, that was a joke from Spittin' Chicklets, I think, from Biz and those guys. I was wondering when you said that, I'm like...
Yeah, but I just... I thought it...
Does he endorse Cologne?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'll completely
So my fact
admit
checker is like dying laughing. He says you need to fill Cam in.
That's funny.
You're talking about Leon Draisaitl and his contract, and Cam says he's not big in the U.S., not really in Canada. Germany, yeah. I mean, he's doing his thing. He's got his perfume or his cologne.
Yeah, that was dumb.
Cam, Leon doesn't have a perfume or cologne. Yeah. Leon is from Cologne.
That's what it is.
Germany.
Beautiful, by the way.
You don't know what's going on there.
Germany's got a lot going on. They have a great economy.
Really?
They have low crime. Oh. It's beautiful. There's mountains.
They party.
They're cool people.
Cobblestone roads.
You talk to any hockey player that's ever played in Germany.
They love it.
They loved it.
Oh, my God.
Gorgeous.
Hey, can I tell all the Germans out there? Because, and we know a few. I'll give Travis Turnbull a shout out. Ryan McKinnis a shout out. Love Ryan McKinnis.
Did Rammer
one
play
of the
there?
best youth hockey players I've ever seen. Johnny Ramage is there.
Johnny Ramage, baby. What's up?
We got a lot of guys. Ryan McKinnis, one of the best youth hockey players I've ever seen, dude. Ever.
Big boy.
He played on a AAA Blues
Al's
team.
son.
Chopper's son, the Hall of Famer, man. 1996 birth year. Played the U.S. program, World Juniors and all that. Went the OHL route like his dad, went to Kitchener.
Like his daddy.
But he played in a game one time. I'm watching him play the Chicago Mission, and they were loaded, dude.
Yeah.
They had William Nylander.
Ooh.
Nick Schmaltz.
Dang.
And I'm forgetting the other guy's name. It'll come to me here in just a second. He played in London with Matthew and Marner. Dvorak. Christian Dvorak.
Oh, yeah. Christian, yeah.
Christian Fisher may have been on that team too, although he may have been a year younger. But anyway, they were loaded. Ryan McKinnis, best player on the ice.
Really?
He's
like 6'6".
Yeah, I mean, at a younger age, obviously.
He skated with us a couple years ago.
Yeah, big boy.
Where is he still playing? You say
Germany?
Germany, okay.
And they take care of these guys. Listen, they especially you have families, right?
Yeah.
You get the house, like not an apartment,
you get a car,
like a house, dude.
Yeah,
like 5-bedroom house.
Don't pay for anything.
Car.
Why
didn't
you get paid
you go there, dude?
I wasn't good enough. They didn't tell him.
You weren't good
I could have
enough
gone to Russia.
KHL?
Yeah.
Why? There's tough guys on the team.
Oh, that would have been. I wasn't into that, and I was just kind of like trying to make a decision.
You knew people who had gone to where you went, and they were like endorsing the idea.
Yeah. It was great.
Yeah,
we couldn't ask for anything.
I could see
that. It was really, really cool.
I know some other guys who have gone to.
I was in a
England.
weird spot, man. That was a weird situation. Like when and everybody knows if you play a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And it finally ends, and you're like, okay, what do I do now? What am I? Am I funny? Can I talk to people? Am I Can I do construction? Do I get into a bit? Do I get into the rest? What do you do?
Am I wrong?
You know, did I get fact checked about Cologne?
Hey, I love watching these prospect camps though, man. And they've been going on everywhere. Buffalo's have been hosting some. Penticton's hosting some. LA hosting some.
Some fights.
You hear my windpipe?
Yeah. You've been screaming and yelling.
My windpipe. Listen, I lost my voice a few years back, and I've never regained full strength of my vocal cords.
How'd you lose your voice? Were you a rock man?
Here's the true story. I think it was COVID. I had COVID before anybody else, and you'll remember this when I tell you about it. Yeah.
No, you didn't.
So
you were talking about fact check.
I think I was the first person to ever have it.
You are not fucking.
All of a sudden,
you are not ground zero.
Dude, it becomes national news less than a week later.
It hit other countries before it even crept over here,
okay,
dude.
So let me tell you what happened.
So off.
So I hosted
Fact check me.
The red carpet for the NHL All-Star game when it was here in 2020.
Yeah, I was there with you.
Yeah.
Not on the carpet. I was there watching.
Oh, yeah. We went to the game. We had a great time in the suite and everything.
With Biz and Whit and the boys.
Yeah. We had did a couple of things.
Those guys were great. Kate had a good time.
My wife did too.
Yeah.
She loves Ryan Whitney. I'll give you a shout out, Ryan.
That's what I said the same thing.
Ryan Whitney, I told you the story before.
Nice.
When we were in Nashville for the draft. And, you're at the draft all night long. My oldest daughter came, so my wife and her shopping all day, doing whatever. And it's not like she's not like 25. She was like 12 at the time. But they were doing their thing.
Yeah.
And so when I get back to the hotel, my wife wants to have a good time too. So my daughter old enough to stay in the hotel by herself for a few hours, right? And so Laura and I go out, and we're having a great time. We're having some cocktails. We're feeling good. And we run into Ryan Whitney walking down the street, Boston area, shooting the shit. And he's about to walk away. And he's like, what are you doing this summer type thing? And I said, hey, we're going to Cape Cod, your neck of the woods, like next week. Sits down, dude, and tells us everywhere to go, what to do, what to bring, where to stay, all that, where to eat, everything. And my wife and him just like talked for like.
Oh God, she was talking his ear off.
Oh, well, we were all. No, he was talking too, but he was like, could not have been nicer, dude, and sat down and chilled out. And so that leaves a positive impression on you, man.
He's cool as hell, dude. They all are cool. Yeah. All cool stuff. I do got to give a shout out to Sawyer Bolton.
Yes.
Bolt sends me these videos.
Cam's always talking about these kids.
Yeah, man, they're tough. They played in London. I don't know if are they twins? Were they twins?
I don't think so.
I think they're a year apart. But I remember going over there when I was teammates with Bolts to his house for dinner parties. And these fucking kids.
He would host the parties?
Have me and Kate over.
Okay.
Just not big parties.
Yeah.
And these two fucking kids, Ryder and Sawyer, would come up to me like this. Kabam! I'm like, ah! And then they grab me like, let's wrestle. I'm like, get him off, throwing him away. They want me to jump on the trampoline with them. They're literally fighting me the whole time.
God.
I'm like, they're like 8 years old. I'm like, Bolts, I'm going to smack him. Bolts. He's like, please do. Get him. They were crazy at the time. I just remember going over there. You know when Ty punched me in the balls at one time? Ryder and Sawyer.
Oh, yeah, Ryder, because I got a Ryder. Yeah. And then there's a Sawyer, too. So Ryder is 2006.
Yeah, so Sawyer was he's in Phillies camp, dude.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
And he Ryder or Sawyer?
Sawyer. Okay. He just scored a goal, and both sent me the video of him talking afterwards with the media. He's great in the media. You can tell he's going to be, So I'm just rooting for those guys, man. I love Bolts a lot. We always talk about him on these pods when we get guys on. But those two motherfuckers were killers this year.
Yeah.
They got suspended a lot.
Sawyer's a 2004, Ryder a 2006, so they're not twins.
Oh, yeah, okay, so 2 years apart.
Yeah.
That's a good age gap. But they beat the shit out of me. I'm like, these kids, I go, Bolts, you're going to have to do something with these kids. And now you see them shit-kicking everybody.
And both of them played in London last year, right?
Yeah.
So,
they're living it up pretty good.
Yeah. What a place to
love
play.
Them there.
Dude, this whole CHL thing that's going on right now with like NHL teams and everything with like eligibility to play in the NCAA, so not NHL, but the CHL, so obviously the OHL, the Quebec League, and the Western League, where it's always been the case for those who don't know, if you play in the Canadian Hockey League, where Cam played,
Windsor and Guelph,
you lose your eligibility to play college hockey.
Yes.
Because they are considered professionals, Cam, because you get $250 a month, no more than $250 a month in a stipend. Is that the way it works? Like,
yeah. I mean, I signed early.
Were you getting a stipend?
Yeah, you get
like
a little bit of money.
A check or what? Do you remember?
I don't remember that. I remember getting money because, of course, you needed it.
Mm-hmm. Like, how do you get money? Like
they would just leave a check in your stall.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, okay,
okay.
But your billets take care of a lot of things, and you don't really pay for things.
Are your parents having to send money to you?
Again, I signed early, so my 17-year-old.
So you're on your own basically. You don't need the money from your parents.
They didn't send me much.
The billets
money.
ever give you money? Like when you're going out to a movie, like here's $20.
Yeah, they would take care of us. God, yeah.
You know, I was talking to
dude. Like the things we did, like it was unbelievable. Like it really, really was.
It's always amazing to me the relationship these kids have with their billet families. I was talking to a kid the other day who's in blues camp, and he lives like outside of Ottawa during the summer. His girl's from there, but he played in the Quebec League, so like Chicoutimi is not far from Ottawa. Yeah. I'm learning all my Canadian geography, and he would drive like 40 minutes like weekly to go have dinner with his billet parents.
No, they're your family.
I'm like, you become really family.
Oh, I loved mine. Even the old...
That's Zach Dean, by the way.
Even the old couple I told you...
first-round pick of Vegas.
The old couple my first year when I had Louie and Arlene Deschamps, little shout-out. And I had to leave there because they're kind of a little weird at the end, so I switched billets and lived with our captain, Bowman. And so... But even they were sweet. They really were. It was a different dynamic because my parents were lenient. Of course, you're going in with like two older couples.
Yeah, but they have to kind of like...
Yeah, but they didn't. This was their first time ever doing it, so they didn't know any other... And they just... But you could tell you can get close with these billets, man. I really, really did, but sometimes you don't, and you got to leave, and it's all good.
Yeah, no, I know a number of kids. Sometimes they're the silver spooners who go to...
the kids are annoying, too.
Billet for the first time.
Yeah.
And they're used to a certain lifestyle, used to a certain house, used to a certain comfort level, Cam.
I know.
And they go to a billet, and now they're not living in nearly as nice of an environment as they're used to. I mean, you just think everyone must have a $2 million house. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and everyone must, drive nice cars. And like you
go
have
to college then.
So anyway, and I know the parents like right off the bat would like get them out of that environment. They would move to another billet house. You know what I'm saying?
And
some are like, I mean, I'm sure in certain places, I mean.
In Windsor, I think
my brother did,
pretty blue collar.
My nephew just billeted, for example, in Chicago to go play AAA in Chicago. He's from Indy, and he lived with a family it was unbelievable.
Yeah,
so
we got lucky
a lot of
that.
times, I think that's the way it is.
Sometimes it's better when the billet, you could have a nice, huge house like that, but the billet family's really strict. There's a nice balance. You know what I mean? Like you could have a not so nice house, but the billets are really cool, and they're cooking you food all the time, and they're making your bed, and they're doing things, and they're the little things, and they respect your game, and they're fans, and they don't. I mean, but I will say this: billets. I always talk to them like, God, Cam, when we had you, or when we had certain guys, it was so fun, and then the next crop comes in, and they're just completely different. Maybe they'll get a kid that's from Russia, and they don't speak English. Maybe they'll get a kid that's drinks too much or shady or whatever. Like it's tough to deal with.
It takes a special type of person to be a billet.
Yeah.
And to do, I mean, there's so many that have done it for years and years and years.
Yeah.
And are not only part of those kids' fans, they're part of the organization, really. You know what I mean?
I used to hang out with
the
kids
kids all the time. They have. But here's what I was saying, Cam. So in the CHL right now, if you play, obviously you lose your NCAA eligibility. There's a kid who plays out west in the Western League who now has committed to play at Arizona State University in 2025. Now, there's a whole legal proceeding that's going on, lawsuit, all this type of stuff, to make these CHL players eligible. And a lot of it has to do with the NIL money now the players are getting, in college. Now they're getting paid and some of this other stuff. You have college players who have NCAA eligibility who may have played professionally over in Europe, but they still maintain their eligibility to play NCAA hockey here in the States. And you've got swimmers and athletes who are making money, through endorsements and stuff like that, who are still legally allowed to compete at the NCAA level. So now this lawsuit's going on. I would imagine it's going to pass. How do you see this impacting the landscape, Cam, in terms of college hockey, the CHL, the USHL, all of that?
Well, wouldn't it be? It's great for development, right? I mean, you'd be able to go you could play in the OHL, which is kind of, well, actually, it's kind of.
Did I put you on the
You kind of did.
I love it. I was thinking, it's like, I hope people caught on to that, because I don't do that too often, where I know Cam hasn't really followed the story very much, and I'm just throwing it right on him. But you can handle it. Go ahead.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Yoink. I would say if you play in the OHL and you're playing every other, or, you're playing 3-4 times a week, and you're hitting guys, and maybe there's more fights and stuff like that. Back when I played, it would be a big change going from OHL to college. But I guess people do that all the time. You play in the USHL, then you go to college or whatnot. I don't know. I guess it's just a better feeding ground. Better, you can play.
How do you think it impacts the league?
Man, fuck, I don't know.
Okay, so listen. I don't know. Okay, here's my take. Ready?
The kids are good. They're going to make the NHL.
Well, now you
have options. You could do whatever.
The NHL draft pick or the first round pick or the player that is certainly going to the OHL or to the NHL. I don't know if it really impacts them as much because they could go to the OHL at 16.
Yeah.
And then they could be a college freshman at 18 if they wanted to be.
It'd be cool to live 2 different lives, though.
Yeah.
The OHL life and then
the college life.
It's pretty cool.
You know what I'm saying?
Like I always think I'd love to go to college and check it out. It'd be fun, man.
You go to these colleges, man. I was just in Ann Arbor. I saw University of Michigan. These facilities are incredible. Yeah. And, you get the whole experience, especially if you're at a big university. You get to enjoy the experience of, like, the college life, man, with a big-time football program and all of that. But anyway, so for those first-round picks, maybe they play junior, and then at 18 they come over as true freshmen. But what this allows, I think, is that the kid can stay in the OHL or play junior till 20. Now they're coming to college, and now NCAA, you got a huge chunk of kids that are between 20 and 25 years old. And you can just extend your career. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You can play an extra 4 or 5 seasons where for some kids who weren't going to go play professional hockey, maybe they would go to Canadian University or whatever, because they would still have their Canadian University. And this is completely different. I wonder how it impacts the USHL. Will the American kids still want to stay and play in the USHL and then go to college, the traditional route? Or will you lose some American kids now to the CHL now that they can go there and still maintain their college eligibility? But I think for colleges, it's like, yeah, man, just keep them there. If I'm a parent right now and I've got a big-time kid who's destined to play or on the path to play Division I college hockey, what's the rush now to get him there at 18 or 19? Bring him in at 20, you know what I'm saying? And then they can play,
see where they're at.
And see where they're at. Yep. You can let them marinate in junior. Yep. And then now you can extend their career, and they can have maybe and still get that college education too. If it doesn't work out, they don't get to the NHL.
You're double dipping, man.
Yeah, double dipping.
Good.
I think it's about time.
You have some of these cats.
How good will college hockey become, Ken?
Oh God, it'll be awesome. Yeah, college hockey is awesome right now.
It's awesome as it is.
It really is. Watching Lindenwood for those games, even playing against Western Michigan, they were killing each other. And I know that's a different.
Yeah, but how about like when Michigan and Michigan State came to St. Louis for the regional
I didn't see that game,
like
Andy. I didn't see it. I
that
didn't
was
watch
still
that.
Here. You know what I mean?
I'm just saying.
That's like a different level.
I'm just letting you know, like these guys are killing each other. There's a lot of skill.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It was fun to watch.
I
It
saw
was entertaining.
Lindenwood play Western Michigan, who was a top 15 team at the time.
It was entertaining.
You know, and Lindenwood, obviously a new program. They got the Bill Muckle, obviously trying to, and Jackie Combs will give you a shout out.
Jackie Boy Combs, yeah. We dominated the other day with the alumni, baby. What's
trying
up?
to get that program up and going and everything.
Yeah. I got work to do, man. It's all good.
This will be interesting to see how this...
I liked your breakdown.
Yeah.
And I liked how you put me on the spot because I haven't paid attention to that.
Of course not. But
I know.
Normally,
I
would say... I would bring up the Cam on the phone.
Yeah,
we have a lot of meetings, and normally I'd be like, dude, have you seen this? And then it would give Cam the time to go look it up or something.
Yeah, but don't do that. It's all good.
No, it's all good.
If you were a good teammate, you would.
I want to give a shout out to TJ Oshie, man, because it sounds like he has played his last game in the NHL. He's had these back injuries. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to announce any type of retirement for him, but I just hear that it's unlikely that he's going to play again. Now, he could.
So a career, man.
He could, but this is one of the most entertaining hockey players that I've ever covered. One of the most entertaining hockey players that I really have ever seen from a pure athleticism standpoint. Just how he played. He played a little bit different.
He did.
His flash was generated differently. It was from like reverse hits and playing through contact. And then all of a sudden like dangling guys, and doing something that from a skill standpoint was at the highest of highest level. But it didn't have the same type of, flash as maybe a smoother, more explosive skater. Even though if you're on the ice with him, Cam, which you would know, like he certainly got around the ice fine, right? He was never slow. But the shootout, all that type of stuff, man. This guy was just an incredible player, fan favorite, no matter where he went, man. Yeah. And then he just plays for Team USA for a couple of weeks in the Olympics, and all of a sudden becomes a national hero. Yeah. So some guys just have it. His dad was unbelievable when he would come to St. Louis, man. And some of the friends that he'd bring in town too, man. He was different than a lot of guys. And who knows, man? Maybe he comes and works for the Blues. From what I hear, the Blues have interest in maybe bringing him on board. I'm sure Washington does too, from what I understand. Yeah. And maybe he decides to try to give it a go and play again. But find me a teammate that didn't love TJ Oshie.
Oh, man, he was great. Great teammate from the get-go. Big smile on his face no matter what. And he would just battle. He knocked guys out, dude. I've never seen that before from a skilled guy. He would score in tight, like crazy little dangles, doing this, doing that at a young age. But he would put guys down. Big, heavy defensemen would try to step up on Osh, and he would literally know it's coming, not show that he knew. Mm-hmm. He wouldn't pick his head up. He had the puck, always controlled the puck well, and guys would try to hit him. I seen some big monsters go down in a heap and not get up.
Yeah, but how many times you see a guy line him up to go to hit him and miss?
That too. He could spin off you.
Oh my God.
He was athletic.
He was like a running back on skates.
I know.
You know what I mean?
He's a powerful stride. Wasn't bursting fast.
No, that's what I mean.
No, but he was great in the corner where he'd invite a hit, stick him, turn off, make a move, go to the net, do something crazy.
And you see the shit he'll do in pregame and stuff like that. He was an entertainer too, man.
Oh yeah. And the women folk, I've never seen anything like it.
Really?
And he played it cool. He did. Like he wasn't like I've never seen that. Like he was a.
You never saw that from anybody
else. He was a rock star here, like Justin Bieber type, and it was crazy to see.
I remember I was pumping him up like crazy, Cam, before he got here. Like
he was killing guys in college.
In college,
yeah.
And when he was drafted by the Blues, 20-something overall, 25th, 26th, in that range, 24th, whatever.
Yeah.
And I remember there was a lot of criticism. I'll never forget this, man. The on-site analyst doing the network television coverage at the time, just critical of the Blues, because I think he was rated somewhere closer to like 80th or in the 80s.
Really?
Like he's coming out of War Road High School, man.
Yep.
Washington kid, moved to Minnesota, had family there, so wins 2 state titles in Minnesota playing for War Road but wasn't playing in the USHL and stuff like that. World Juniors until the next year, right? So I don't know if he played the U18s where. All those kids who are going to be draft eligible get heavily scouted and stuff like that. Anyway, he was projected, according to the ratings, which I know that doesn't mean as much. I mean, the Blues obviously had him rated completely different than what these, different, services had him rated as. But the Blues got a little bit of criticism for drafting him that high. So I remember going up to Jarmo, who's my guy.
Yeah.
Jarmo Kekalainen.
Yeah.
Kekalainen. Obviously, most recently, the general manager of the Columbus Blue Jackets up until this season. And I said, man, they're really giving it to you for drafting Oshie. And he looked at me. You know how serious he can be. He goes, and I don't really want to say.
What did he say?
Basically, like, they can all go fuck themselves.
Well, say it.
Because like, it's.
Yeah, I did my homework on him.
This is their Super Bowl, right? And now there's probably some nervousness when you take a player that you believe in, but everybody else is telling you, that it's a terrible, way too, you drafted him way too high or whatever. And maybe you're second guessing yourself, but I don't think he was. And he said to me, you tell all of them to come see me in 5 years.
He was right.
And I remember writing, come see Jarmo in 5 years. And he was so confident about that pick. Sometimes, you don't know.
Yeah.
And you probably didn't know either then.
I don't know. If you look back and watch some of his highlights with Nodak, you're like,
oh, yeah.
He was doing a lot of things.
This is before he got to Nodak.
Yeah, that's right.
You know what I'm saying? He just had played. He was like, he put on a show with his like bleach blonde hair at the Minnesota State High School tournament. And doing shit like he was like a YouTube sensation with some of the shit he'd do with a stick in the locker room and stuff like that.
Back then?
Even back then, yeah. Like some of the shit that would come on YouTube, man.
Yeah. It was just getting started, probably.
It was, yeah. So anyway, and then he was better than advertised. I remember pumping his tires so much before he got here, and I did a radio show with Bernie Miklasz, who was the big dog columnist, here in St. Louis, and nationally known, whatever, and obviously covered more baseball and football. But I would talk hockey on a show on a daily basis, and he was like, he would say to me, I hope you're not pumping this guy up too big and he becomes the next J.D. Drew. The Philly fans will know who J.D. Drew is because he went to the Phillies, but he had so much hype before he came to St. Louis and then never really lived up to the expectations. I didn't know if he was going to or not, but I just knew he was damn good. Whatever, watching, kind of tracking where he was, and he lived up to it. And then he was traded. We asked Army the other day when he was on with us, do you regret that one? Because he did go on to have a great run with Washington and become a Stanley Cup winner and just elevate his status into now having to, he'll have the option to do whatever the hell he wants to do, Cam, now in his post-career. And Army said no, because he didn't know him that well. I remember TJ telling the story when he got traded. He thought he was going to Pittsburgh.
Well, that'd be cool.
And there was some talk about the Blues trading him to Pittsburgh, and that didn't happen. And the conversation just being really short with Oshie and Doug Armstrong, just basically being like, "Hey, man, I've traded you to Washington. Expect a call from the Capitals."
Washington.
And
it all worked out, and he deserves every bit of it. He really does. And he's a hard-working guy.
Yeah.
Like, he is a really blue-collar dude.
Yes.
You know what I mean? He really is. The way he played, he was very skilled. He was like mucking it up, and it was different. So,
but now with Alexander
Yarmo,
Steen,
little shout out to Yarmo. Got to do
it. Hell yeah, Yarmo. It's a hell of a pick.
Damn right.
Yarmo made some great picks here, man.
And not to mention, Osh brought in a ton of fans.
Yes.
Even though we weren't that great, we're making the playoffs, squeaking in once in a while, whatever. He brought so many goddamn fans in. That place was fucking packed, and he was a big reason.
Dude, I remember his breakout party, and you may have been playing it in the game. I don't know. I don't know if you were on the team yet when he got here.
Yeah, I was.
Were you?
Yeah.
Or did you come after he was already here?
No, he was. I was here from the get-go. I remember seeing him walk in, and he was living in a hotel. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. Anyway, he had a reverse hit against Vancouver, brought the house down, and then he walked somebody at the blue line, then walked Roberto Luongo.
Yeah, dude.
And
did a weird little
on his forehand shelf. And it was his coming out party. I remember saying he was like the second coming of like Hannah Montana, because Hannah Montana was like huge at the time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like
you probably got chirped for that.
Dude, I did, and Cam knows this because I did a radio show where I'd have all the players come out and they'd come in a limousine and stuff like that, and they'd bring their buddies and stuff and in the limo. And when Oshie would come to it was a sporting goods store, and it turned into a hockey shop. And listen, the Blues equipment trainer, Burt Godin, longtime equipment trainer, he'd come to the show and sharpen people's skates, Cam, during the show. Yeah. So people would come and like bring their skate. It was an awesome like throwback hockey show, man. Yeah. Got NHL players doing full interview. Cam came a couple times. I loved it, man. It was one of my favorite thing I've ever done. Before I started doing this, maybe was
Andy's telling his whole career today.
No, he shows up, Cam. Yeah, you had to have police presence. He had security.
Yeah.
You had teenage girls jumping on the hood of his car, Cam. He couldn't get out of the parking lot, running after the car, jumping on the hood. He couldn't get out.
He was Timberlake.
So he was Justin Timberlake. Yeah. I just want to like...
I used to love when they asked me to do autograph signings at Walmart in South County, and the lineup's like, honestly, miles long.
Yeah.
It's all women. I'm like, I'll go to that one. I ain't good looking.
What do you mean it was all women?
With Osh?
Oh, with him?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you go with him. I thought you meant when you would go do an autograph signing at Walmart.
When I did it, it was hell. I mean, God Almighty.
Yeah.
But when me and Osh would do it together,
the women,
I'm like, yeah, I'll go to that one with him. Yeah, for sure. Pretty funny.
But
he was a superstar.
Yeah. I mean, some guys would bring that type of attention to the store. I mean, some guys would come, honestly, and like nobody would show up. You get like a handful of people.
Yeah.
You always had the same 20, 25 people.
Dude, it was come grow with us when we were all doing it. So they had us doing so much stuff, man. Even like Bobby Plager was cruising around with us all over the place. They put us in like a van, and we travel through the middle of Missouri with me, Bobby, and Jan Stasi and a couple other guys, and go to these little podunk towns and spend the night, hang out with all these people.
But
it was cool.
See, this is what you're going to start seeing, though, I think, is especially with Alexander Steen taking over in another year or so. And I know Army's still going to be the president. So I don't know when you're really going to feel that shift of power in the organization. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know.
But, Steen, Oshie, they know each other very, very well. Oshie and Jax are like brothers.
Yeah.
Barrett Jackman. And Steen and Oshie are tight, too. Or Steen and Jackman are tight. So
you're going to
see a lot of these guys coming back into the organization, man. You know what I mean?
If they want to.
If they want to work in hockey. Now, Oshie's going to... Listen, I would imagine the Washington Capitals are going to want this guy.
And he could do something...
as well.
If he wants to be an executive like that. But I think he could probably do anything he wants.
I don't see him wanting to be a GM.
I know.
You know what I'm saying?
I think he's... I think he's going to probably pick and choose what's the easiest thing to make the most amount of money.
Well, just like what fits into his lifestyle.
He's got a lot of kids.
Great golfer too.
He's got a lot of kids. He can get paid to go on a golf tour with people.
No,
he's just that kind of guy. He's that kind of celeb to where he's going to be fine one way or the other. But if he wants to get in the hockey mix, he's a smart guy.
Honestly, at the time, he may have been the most popular player since Brett Hall at the time.
I agree with that.
When he got here.
Yeah, I could see that.
Now, you've had some other guys come through and they won a Stanley Cup, and, O'Reilly was pretty damn popular.
Yeah, he was. Hell, Patty was really popular.
Patty was popular.
Patty Maroon.
Yeah, you had a lot of guys. But Oshie, just in terms of, people paid to come see him play. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they did. In a time where the Blues were 2 years before that. I remember coming over here from Jersey, and there was 12,000 people in the stands, and they were terrible. They had one of the worst records ever. I think Stevie Sullivan. No, it was Mike Sullinger was their leading scorer that year. It was like 2005.
Mike Sullinger was he got traded like 13 times.
Awesome. Get him on.
Dude, he's awesome.
Get him on.
I know.
Every time we do any event, like with a chaser event, like skating or whatever.
He's funny.
And he skates with us. He's goddamn hilarious.
And his boys are playing now.
Yeah, his boys are competitive. Who else was I going to give a shout out to? Oh, I got it on a kind of a somber note. Stephen Pete, who I never really played against, but I saw his fights and stuff like that, passed away. I don't know all the details on it. Mm-hmm. I did have a listener a month ago reach out to me and say, "Hey, I know Stephen Pete. He's not doing great." Da, da, da. I'm like, I don't know if I know him. But now you heard he passed away. Don't know the details on it, but I got to give you a little shout.
How old was he?
Shit, he's probably 40. He's 44, I think.
And he died of?
I think a car accident.
My God.
Yeah, I think a car accident. I don't know the full details on it, but I just wanted to give him a little shout out. God, he had some badass fights. He was tougher than shit.
Mm-hmm.
And it's it's kind of a little bit of a pattern going on, and people are worried about it. And I don't know. There is help out there, man. There really is. Mm-hmm. I know that for a fact. So this little shout out to Stephen Pete.
And quickly, I think when we were recording last week, the funeral had not taken place yet for
Johnny and Matthew.
And what's interesting is all his close friends and family, they call him John. You know what I'm saying? It's like everybody I see in all the tweets, John. It's like to hockey, it's like Johnny Hockey, Johnny.
Yeah.
And there's something to be said for when I see Kevin Hayes talk about, he's never called him Johnny. He's called him John.
Yeah. We grew up differently with him.
And his wife in the eulogy, which was really, really nice, man. To mention Sean Monahan and Kevin Hayes in terms of their relationship, I just thought it was really well done. I know it's been talked about over and over now, but I just wanted to give them a shout out. It was heartbreaking to see the family, dude, and his dad, Guy, and just how heartbroken that mom and dad and those sisters are. So we're thinking of Guy and Jane Goudreau, man, and
love you guys
and the sisters, and they're gonna have a lot of support, but it's gonna be hard, especially with hockey season coming around the corner. Cam,
it's coming, baby. I tell you what, though,
that's all they know. You know what I mean? It's their time of year.
Yeah, I know. It's gear, even as a player, when September comes around, you just have this weird feeling in your soul, like it's time to go to work. Yeah, I had fun over the summer. I've been busting my ass all damn summer, doing 4 workouts a day, going to boxing, going to this, and then I got to go see Lou, or there's people watching. Like there's a lot of pressure. You get this feeling in your stomach, and your parents do too, because they know how stressful it is for you. So family members, Kate would go through it, man. It was like, God, you're going to get hurt. You're going to do this. You're going to make the team. There's a lot. We're going to live in Albany. We're going to live here. There's a lot of emotion going on, not just with you, but your whole family. So seeing that, you're right, Andy. Yeah. And it's tough.
Yeah, really tough.
But hockey season is coming.
Yeah.
And right now, and we talk about all kinds of stuff on here, but God, I like watching college football, dude. I don't know what the hell, more than the NFL. Even the NFL was on. I watch the Chiefs. Blah, blah, blah. I know what happened at the end. A little controversial, whatever. Taylor Swift doing everything. Yada, yada, yada. The college games, for some reason. Fuck, I'm into them. I know you watch it, too. You like college basketball probably more than anything. But goddamn,
college football is always
cool.
When you have kids, dude, I don't know how you can watch college football if you have kids. Find me a Saturday where you have time to sit on the couch and watch a football game. You can't do it. Maybe on a Saturday night there's a game, but typically you've got stuff going on Saturday nights too. And then you get to the hockey season, And
I get you. Yeah.
College football is a difficult sport for me to sit down and have time to truly watch.
People watch
You may find your one team and try to catch that specific game, but it's hard to just...
You can also watch the highlights too in a 30-minute span and know exactly what's going on.
Like Arch.
I like to go through
Arch Manning.
Archie doing his thing, baby. Archie doing his thing. Shador, they win. Shador Sanders, who I don't know him. Remember, I was like, I like Shador. God, he's getting
What's his name?
Shador. And even Deion's getting annoying.
It's a good name.
But
Deion's getting a little annoying.
But Shador, I know the one kid, the quarterback from Colorado State or whatever, was talking shit, and then he doesn't shake his hand. Just shake his fucking hand. Like little things like that.
He didn't shake his hand afterwards?
No, just little things.
Well,
he started annoying me a little bit.
You know what? But that's a real rivalry game. And it goes back to last season.
I know what it is.
And
I know.
Colorado State, Colorado. I don't mind a real rivalry.
You won.
It's not manufactured.
You won. Just do your thing.
You're not wrong.
I'm just saying. It's all good, baby.
Yeah.
I like the drama. I do in college football.
But you know what? Colorado,
I just got into it 2 years ago.
They got pounded by Nebraska.
Nebraska don't play.
And so they beat Colorado State. I just can't. I can't take them very serious right now. There's so much talk and there's so much hype. They get so much attention. Now the Travis Hunter kid's legit, and he probably will go first overall.
Yeah, you're damn right.
I've never seen anybody do that.
He's unbelievable.
I've never seen anybody. He has 4 straight 100-yard games, and
an interception.
He might be the best cornerback in the country.
It's crazy. They're interesting still, and of course Deion's.
I wonder how many other cornerbacks in college football are telling their coach, "Put me a damn wide receiver too, man. I can go." I bet you there's some that would be some. I'm not saying everybody could be Travis Hunter, but these athletes are so damn good, and they're so used to having the ball in their hands, playing high school before they get to college. They're all probably they're probably like, "Let me do both, man." Like they're conditioned well enough to be able to do it.
Ohtani.
Yeah.
Is there going to be? Has that ever happened in
Babe
football?
Ruth. Oh.
No, in football.
What do you mean? Both ways?
Both ways.
Well, Deion did a little bit, but not to this extent. You know what I'm saying?
This guy's full-fledged, man. Like, he's playing the whole damn game.
Yeah.
He must be beat up, too. Like, how do you not get hurt?
Deion could play wide receiver and cornerback, but he wouldn't, play. Dude, he plays every snap of the game. He doesn't ever come off the field. That's what, we used to do back in the JFL.
Don't. You already talked enough.
The
stay on
junior
point.
football
Stay
league.
on point.
So, I'm glad you brought that up. Sidney Crosby, a 2-year contract extension, $8.7 million, the AAV. Get it? 8.7. He always does that.
Oh, yeah.
He probably could have gotten 8.9.
Isn't that we said that? Isn't that we said
he just couldn't.
there?
He couldn't get 9.87.
No, that's okay.
So he probably wanted the 87. So 8.7. He'll take that.
I'm glad that he's.
That's
there.
a doable contract for the organization too, in terms of building other pieces. Except everyone they signed to give money to is 35 years old. So
build some young kids around you somehow. I don't know how you're going to do that. In a weird spot, but I'm glad that he's wearing a Penguins uniform. I don't know.
No, I am too. It would have to be a certain type of situation for him to leave where you'd be like, okay, that'd be cool.
Yeah,
to play with his boy McKinnon or something like that, like we talked about before. Maybe to play in Toronto, he's maybe not. I don't even know. But to put like an iconic sweater on somewhere, I don't know.
No, but I do know. I don't want that.
Yeah, okay.
And
he's won his 3 Stanley Cups.
You're all right.
He's not chasing anything.
No, you're okay.
And he's about to hit some crazy numbers. He's about to get to 600 goals.
Good. Do all that stuff.
Yeah.
Do all that stuff,
mm-hmm.
and wave bye to everybody in your last day there with a Pittsburgh Penguins uniform.
Yeah.
They love you.
Mm-hmm.
Own the team. Do whatever you want.
Own the team.
Own it. Be Mario.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like him, man.
Yeah.
Everything's cool.
I think everyone
has
knew.
Has he ever gotten any controversy?
No. I don't think so.
I mean, literally. Any weird thing he said where he was pissed after a game, I don't know. And people might come up like, Cam, I'm like, okay. It didn't. Like, if I don't know about it and you don't know about it, then it wasn't that big of a deal.
How many hockey players have created that much controversy? I mean, as controversy as it gets is like when they don't put the pregame jersey on or something like that.
Well, I think it's different now a little bit because there's so much shit going on. But I just, like, the camera's in his face more than anybody. I'm just throwing that out there. Like, he's just in a different category. He never, maybe he sounded whiny a couple times when he was young.
Oh, maybe. He was really whiny.
That's right. Okay, maybe that's what it was. Like, because I remember him doing something to me, man. Like, I kind of wrote him out with a hit, and he comes over behind me and goes, "What, bop?" Right in the back of my head. I go, "Cocoon." And it was in the paper the next day. I have it at my dad's house. It's hilarious.
Really?
Yes.
The picture?
Yes. And he got a 2-minute, he got a 4-minute, whatever the hell it was. We scored on a power play. I'm like, God damn. I had a huge red mark, Andy.
Yeah.
I felt good about it.
You should track down the photographer.
I'll show you it.
and get the real picture and have Crosby sign it.
He would do that too because he's cool as hell.
Oh, he is, and he would.
I'd love to get him on, but I don't. It's like he's busy. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't know.
If we were somewhere and he was there, I don't know.
What's he doing? He's training.
Training his ass off, probably.
Doing anything else, you know?
I think he's still.
Is he like a golfer?
Does he drink anything?
I hear he likes to have a good time.
Good.
Like, I don't mean like recklessly or crazy, but he's one of the boys, man.
Yeah, but he's so.
I just had Matthew Joseph on my show Hockey Sense, who and his brother Pierre Oliver Joseph played in Pittsburgh the last couple of years, and he was talking about how they're super close friends. They talk all the time.
Yeah, man.
I think he's friends with everybody.
I think he's just nice to everybody.
Yeah.
I think he's not a guy that. And I play with guys that will walk in. They'll keep their own little group, maybe. But they're not hanging with everybody. They're not sitting down, really talk. Maybe not all the time. Most of the guys are pretty cool. Don't get me wrong.
You either have it or you don't with that personality.
Some guys are just like.
I don't criticize the people who aren't like that either, because I just.
No, they're just like, man. Let me get through this.
I just want to hang out with a few people.
Yeah.
Some people just like to hang out with their type buddies.
I don't know.
You know?
If you're the big dog, like you got to hang.
Well,
like Big Walt would hang with everybody.
It does everything.
Like he'd hang with everybody. Marty would.
It does wonders for the organization when the biggest name in the game is like making everybody feel included.
I'll tell you this about Marty Brodeur. He was a perfect kind of guy that had a lot of status. Lou never fucked with him. Like, I've never seen him get jammed up with really anything. I mean, there's whatever. But like playing with him, he would do enough to where hang out with us and still get up and do his thing. He would still have all the beers on a plane.
Who was Andrew Peters saying that Lou would never mess with? That he was
Scotty, probably. Scotty was another one that I remember being on the bus one time in preseason when I was really young, and we're waiting for Scotty Stevens, and he's late. And if anybody, I've never seen anybody late, man. Remember Gomez talks about being late after winning the Stanley Cup. He was a little bit late. His tie wasn't right, and Lou's like, "What are you doing?" Remember that? And Gomer, I saw Scotty Stevens late, and it was like 10 minutes late. We're on the bus, literally going to a preseason game in Philly, and we got to get there, and there's traffic and whatnot. And he comes on, and we're all like looking at each other like, "Whoa!" And he walks right by Lou. Lou doesn't even look at him. Sits down. I'm like, interesting. That happened to anybody else, dude. Ooh, boy. Mm-hmm. That would have been a big time deal.
Chances are Lou knew that he was doing something else.
Yeah.
And there's a reason why he was.
That's a damn good point.
You know what I'm saying?
That guy's probably wrestling. He's probably got, I get a bear in my backyard.
He knew, hey, we're waiting for Scotty. Scotty's 5 minutes away.
That's the one guy.
I see it on my GPS. I know where Scotty is right now. You see, he's about to turn left-hander.
My sources say.
Yeah.
So anyway.
The
good old days,
I'm happy for Crosby.
Me too, man.
And happy for the Pittsburgh fans, man. That's
we love you.
That would be the hardest thing for the Pittsburgh fan to like lose Crosby.
They're still watching Crosby play, whether they're 500 or not. I would say, like, I'll go watch that son bitch. It was nice to be doing radio.
You
finally.
See Obi skating around. I saw like the captain skate, you know. He just kills me. I don't know why.
Because he's cool as hell, dude. Yeah, that's why I wanted him to break the record.
They were doing they were skating from one end of the ice. He was like,
do you see little Obi out? Speed. So they had like a big tournament, like probably a couple months ago. Mm-hmm. Kovalchuk was out there, Malkin's out there, all these Russian guys. It was like the Ovi tournament in Russia. And little Ovi started the game. They're like, "Go play center." And like Kovi's whacking him like, "Go, go." And he won't do it, so he's playing right side. And they give him a puck, and he goes down. Everybody just lets him kind of go, and he scores a goal. Cool. And he probably gets off the ice, and they probably play for real. But I don't know. Oh, I love Alexander Ovechkin.
So do I, man.
He's going to have statues all over Washington, D.C.
I feel like Crosby and Ovi, man, have like created that bond with one another, too. Like you felt like they hated one another earlier in their career, and then I feel like they've become buddies.
Remember some of the commercials with Crosby and Ovechkin, and they're like, Ovi's like ordering all this stuff to his room. That was cute. And then the one Ovi commercial, we said this before, I think, where he's in the he's doing like, he's like kind of fiddling with things in the closet, and I think one of his Russian goalies was up top in the ceiling part, and one of the ESPN commentators comes in like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Just going through files." Okay. And he looks back, and all of a sudden, he starts talking Russian and has this little chain come down and scoots him back up like he's doing something shady. It's pretty funny. You not listening?
No,
Sorry about that. Am I boring you?
I want to look at something.
Maddie, can I talk to you?
No.
Maddie, come in. Can I talk to you?
I'm listening to you. You're on camera. You're talking. You're the one on camera.
Why are you so rude like that?
I wanted to look at something.
I would never do that.
Because
He's been talking the whole time. I'm engaged.
I know.
Like a true gentleman on radio and podcasts. That's what you do.
I just want to look up something.
That's why I could work with anybody, Maddie, just so you know.
I wanted to look at something.
Never had a problem with anybody.
I was looking at how,
holy macatoli.
At how
man, oh man. Should I entertain? You want me to entertain the folks?
How weak.
Can I give a Boo update real quick? Boo Boo, my lovely little kitty cat, and I know people who chime in and text.
Did something happen?
She's doing dang good.
Oh.
And I just hope.
I knew it. I told you this.
Her hair, she's getting a little
ago.
tubbier, which I like. Her hair's kind of growing back. She's not pooping as much in the basement. We have a better system down. I just want her to last till Christmas because I know she sleeps underneath the Christmas tree and stuff like that. Oh, God. I'm just giving you guys an update because a lot of people message me. That's all. No big deal. Sorry. I'm just letting you know.
Feed the cat.
Little baby Boo Boo's doing pretty good.
That cat.
So.
Start feeding that cat.
That cat eats so much goddamn food. And if I have anything, she's like, I'm like, get away. That because she's crazy. Because I don't think I think she's going to the bathroom so much it's not staying. And her digestive system is going right through. So she's hungry but now I feel like she's getting a little bit heavier. I don't know.
So well, I'm glad to hear that update.
I'm just saying, you cut me. You weren't even listening to me.
I know. I was going to look at
you could have chimed in on that commercial's funny.
No, it's a great commercial.
We could play a clip of that and probably do good on. Well, you ruined it.
No, I didn't.
Because we could have gone back and forth.
Oh my God! I was looking at the Maple Leafs roster.
And I was distracted because I couldn't tell the story right.
I was looking at the Maple Leafs roster and didn't realize they're just not that good. I mean,
clip that off. Oh my God, I love it.
I think they're like
no.
They got enough star power to carry them.
Okay.
Like through the regular season, but it's just not a championship team. I look at it, and everyone wants them to be, and I
go through it.
I would
go
love
through
it
everybody.
too.
We'll clip this off too because this is great. And you know what, Andy, you might be right,
dude. I was looking at their left wingers the other day. I'm like, what? Like, I know they got Marner and Matthews.
You like both of them a lot. They're dang good.
Oh hell yeah! But you get past that, and Nylander's a hell of a player.
Dang good player.
I don't want to talk until I really get because then I can really.
Well, you said it. You said it right off the. Should I entertain the camera again?
Yeah, please do.
Come on, man. What are you doing? You look through the roster. No, I get what you're saying. I don't know. I don't know. They're pretty damn good, but. That's
Yeah. Okay. So on the left side, they've got, and listen, people are going to be like, no, that's not true. So and so can play the left side. I'm just saying. But I'm seeing Matthew Nyes, Bobby McMahon, Pontus Holmberg, and Connor Dewar. Now this is on sometimes I look at the line combinations for different teams and stuff like that. I mean, that's just not very good. I mean, nothing against any of those guys.
It's all good.
And obviously,
might be better this year. Young kid.
Marner, Nylander, Yarncroc, Reeves on the right side. You get some good players up top. You get past the top six, man. It's a tough group. And you win, and I know how Craig Berube is. You win with bottom six guys, too. You can't just rely on your top six. So it's the bottom six guys that carry you through the postseason.
This is going to be interesting.
So Holmberg, Domi, Yarncroc, Dewar, Camp, Reeves. That's your bottom six. It's just okay. And I just look at it from some of these other teams that have real position battles. Even a team like St. Louis. You could say Toronto may end up being better than St. Louis. I don't know. We'll see. But guys like Braden Shen are fighting to keep their spot in the top six. Brandon Saad fighting to keep his spot in the top six. So
Jake Neighbors
will be in the top six.
Well, what if he doesn't perform like he did last year? You're still fighting as a young kid.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I'm saying entering the year though.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Shane. Okay.
You know what I mean?
I mean, they all are going to have to, man. Somebody else will jump right in there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And so I don't know. The Blues, they have a deeper roster than I think people realize. But I don't know. It's not like high-end talent, you know what I'm saying? You don't have the eye-popping Nylander, Marner and Matthews just whoa. So right off the bat, you just look at the team differently. You know what I'm saying? But
they didn't have that in 19 really either.
No.
You had Petro.
No, you had Petro, yeah.
That pops. Ryan O'Reilly. No, you said a good mix of guys, dude.
Yeah.
So it just shows you can win a cup that way.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have any eye-popping guys.
No. But then
God, if you watch
then you had like, but how did he win? Like you had Barbashev scoring 14 goals in the fourth line.
I watch
Sundquist,
every single
14 goals in the fourth line.
Every single goal. It's a 38-minute clip on YouTube, and it's all bottom six guys for the most part. And then Ryan O'Reilly or some guys will do.
Right.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And then a couple big D-men pop in. Like Bertuzzo scored a huge goal.
Gunnarsson
overtime goal. Could be the most important goal in Blues history.
First Stanley Cup final victory ever, I think, in the history of the Blues organization.
And Gunny was talking to Berube about a pisser and was like, "Get me out there." Yeah. They're pissing at each other. I don't know.
Yeah, listen, I'm just saying, like, their left side is going to need some work. This is not a championship roster, is all I'm saying. This is not a Stanley Cup winning roster. The Toronto Maple Leafs, and they may get there in the next year or two, 3 years. I don't know, and maybe they'll win it this year. I just don't see it. I don't think they're a Stanley Cup winning roster.
All right.
But I love being at the rink. See, can you feel it, Cam? After being at the rink all weekend with the prospect camp and seeing a bunch of scouts and talking to people and whatever, do you sense the energy is back now as we enter training camp this week? Do you feel it?
I gotta be there first, to really feel it. Yeah. But I think the energy with the fans in St. Louis are excited. The Cardinals aren't doing anything. They just got swept by the Blue Jays. Like in St. Louis, and I know there's a lot of St. Louis people out there listening, people are pretty excited about the Blues. This should be.
I will say, I was joking with, I met Holloway and Broberg the other day. And Holloway I've had on my other show, whatever, and so you talk to him through Zoom, but it's not the same. I met them in person for the first time. And I was joking with them. I'm like, you guys have, people think they just got Gretzky and Messier coming from Edmonton, because it's kind of like, they're like, Gretzky and Messier are coming. But I'm excited to see how both of those guys integrate into the team, and maybe Holloway finds his way into a top 6 role. I don't think they're going to give him too much right off the bat, meaning I don't see him just right off the bat running the number 1 power play. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
Like, I think that's going to be Falk's job.
Yeah.
And then Broberg maybe can operate the second unit.
What about Perunovic?
It's going to be tough, man.
You know,
I see Perunovic. I will say this. I don't think the Blues want to lose Perunovic to waivers. And I wouldn't be surprised if the Blues stuck with 8 defensemen out of the gate in an effort for that not to happen. You know what I'm saying? And so maybe they keep an extra defenseman for that first road trip. You got to have some depth, especially on the back end. And but I like this POJ, this Pierre-Olivier Joseph. Man, he played the last couple of years in Pittsburgh, played mostly in the NHL. Didn't play a whole lot of games in the American League. Like, he's an NHL defenseman. So I think there's your 7, in my opinion, if you feel like Broberg and Falk can handle the power play duties. But I wouldn't mind to see, I don't want to see them just turn the page on Perunovic just yet. Not like Tyler Tucker, too. Like, they've got some depth guys, but the reality is you can't keep everybody.
Kessel Kid played pretty well.
He's in your top 6.
Okay.
He's your 5 with Suter.
I was going to say, yeah. Right.
Or your 6 with Suter, however you want to. That's your third pair. Ryan Suter and Matt Kessel. People don't know who Matt Kessel is. Won a national championship at UMass. He was a draft pick. Came in last year. Just no nonsense. Comes to work and he's ready to go.
Makes good outlet passes.
You know what I'm saying?
Solid.
Like, you don't have to worry about a thing about him when he's not at the rink. He just he's on time.
Yep. Okay.
He's coming to work.
Yeah. Makes good plays. He's solid, smooth.
Mm-hmm.
Not quick.
Yeah.
Not,
But I think, and listen, I know some Blues fans are listening, whatever, some aren't. But not to spend too much time on the Blues game. I know you hate it when I do this, but
I don't care.
But but Buchnevich, I feel like the idea will be to play him at center right off the bat, which could move a guy like Shen down to your third line if they choose to do that. Thomas wants to play with Buchnevich. They obviously have great chemistry together, but I think you got to have maybe a little more of a solid backup who can control the game in the second line center position behind Robert Thomas. You know what I'm saying? And maybe, now you put Shen as your third line center. Now you've got something going on. Yeah. I don't get into top 6 and all that. The game's changed so much. You got to have 3 lines that can all play in the offensive end and still be able to keep the puck out of the net too. So, but if Buchnevich plays center, that could open up a spot for like a guy like Holloway, for example, to slide into the top 6. But we'll have to see, man. Training camp starts this week, and we'll see how it looks once we get there.
Yeah, they haven't done anything yet. We'll see. I know, that's why I let you talk, because you've been down there with all the guys and stuff like that. You're in the mix right now. So, no, I want to know what's going on, man. Hockey season's coming around. And we're gonna keep you guys updated with everything going down. But we got Andrew Peters on this podcast, by the way, and he's cool guy. Tough guy, played for Buffalo, man. Has some pretty cool fights and stuff like that.
We wanted to know what's going on in Buffalo.
No shit. What is going on with you guys up there? I went on a little rant last podcast about it. I'm like, you can't have this. It's unacceptable.
Angry rant.
I know. I'm not that angry about it. I know. Well, sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
Very angry.
You call out Toronto.
Well, we'll
clip that off.
That's not a championship roster.
That's fine.
It's like the New York Jets. People were saying that they were like a Super Bowl.
I like
contender.
to show emotion
No,
sometimes. They're
not a Super Bowl.
You like to show emotion sometimes. It's not good for hockey, man.
And I'm rooting
and I'm pissed,
for Toronto.
I'm pissed. Okay, whatever. I'm pissed for the fan. I feel bad for the fans up there. Look what they do. Look at how much they show up on crappy ass weather. The Bills games and Buffalo games. You got freaking 10 feet of snow coming across the fucking the Great Lakes.
Lake Erie.
You're gonna get dumped on 10 feet of snow. Fans still show up for these goddamn games. It's unacceptable to be that bad. It is. They're jumping off shit and landing on stuff and doing crazy stuff. They're supporting you in a mid-market. You better show up. I mean, you better figure something out. And Andrew Peters talked about that, man.
Yeah.
Talked about the owner.
The owner, yeah. They're essentially a Canadian market almost, you know what I'm saying?
Well, they're in the
they
US.
get a lot of Canadians there.
It's unacceptable.
They're close to Toronto. If I was a player who wanted to be close to home and you're from Toronto, like why wouldn't you want to sign there? And you can still live in the US. Not that there's anything wrong with living in Canada, but I'm just saying I'm just saying.
Oh my God.
I love Canada.
Of course, we love the people of Canada.
Yes.
I love the people of Canada.
I would move to Canada.
I'm not leaving the United States, but I love the people of Canada are cool as shit. You got a mixture of everything, man. Anytime I remember being up there, like everybody was just down to earth. No one's trying. People in the U.S., man, they try too hard to be something and do this, and they want to be loud walking through, and they're too cocky at times. No. That's totally U.S.
A lot of fights at Prospect Camp.
I saw some too, yeah. Some pretty good ones. A couple hugging matches where they throw each other down.
I saw some good ones.
I saw a couple good ones. Give them a little shout out. Who was it?
Matty Mayich.
That's right.
From former draft pick of the Blues, plays in the OHL. He had a good one. Quentin Burns, not as great of a fight.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Fought I think the kid was a former first-round pick of Minnesota. I got to look at the roster. I want to give this kid a shout-out because he actually handled himself very well in the...
Give him a little shout-out.
In the
Get prepared next time, though.
Well, I didn't know you were going to throw that.
No,
oh, see the difference? You're throwing that on me. I'm not expecting it, but I'm ready.
What are you talking about?
And roll.
You're the one that brought this conversation up.
Okay.
Get organized, though, man.
Did I?
Yeah, you did. Speaking of which, there's fighting in... What do you mean?
Yeah, there's a lot of fights.
Yeah, you
started. You should give them a shout out.
Oh, okay. Well, you should. You should know that before. That's what I'm chirping you for.
Well, I want to give the guy. I know. I want to.
This is your episode. You need to get on your game with some notes, though. I mean, you want to do your thing, do it, man.
Yeah.
I'm listening.
This is my episode.
Just hockey oriented right now, and I haven't got into the hockey aspect of things right now because nothing much is going on. Andy's on the inside. I always tell him he's at these prospect camps. He's watching. He's talking to people, interviewing people. So he's got a lot of hockey stuff going on, and I wanted you to talk about it today.
Yeah. Okay. Well, good. I'm glad.
Not chirping.
No.
Yeah,
no, I'm glad you said that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Carson.
So anyway,
Carson Lambos.
Some billionaire went to space.
Carson Lambos handled himself
600 miles.
very well in the fight for Minnesota.
What's his name?
Carson Lambos, former first-round pick.
Carson Lambos. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
All good.
From 2021. So I'm going back, 3 years.
Little shout out. Yeah. That's because that's what we do on here.
He did a good job.
Dang good job.
And then Will Benton, who...
I saw that one too.
Was it his, yeah.
I like throwing them bombs. Don't think all the brass is watching that. And like, good for you.
But
and he went down and scored a goal, I think,
He kind of reminded me of you. Actually, I'm not just saying this when I was watching.
In a bad way?
No.
Oh.
Like Sam Benton, because his brother's Will Benton, who's not with the organization anymore. But Sam Benton, it was just like every whistle... He just turned around and just wanted to kill somebody. You used to do that.
I know.
Like if there was right when the whistle would blow, if it was an icing and offsides, the goalie froze the puck, it went out of play. You would just stop. And he would do this in the game, and whoever was behind him, he would just grab and just start intimidating him. But that's what I want, man.
You don't time out. Let me correct Andy. He's right in a way. You never stop and grab anybody. You just turn around like, what?
That's what he would do.
You don't grab.
No, he didn't grab. Yeah.
Or just get in their face.
He would kind of push him.
It's like, what's up? We all good? All right. And you skate away.
Right.
Just let everybody know, get off. What are we doing here? That's it. Don't ever grab anybody. Don't ever stick anybody. Don't touch anyone.
Yeah.
You could do a lot of intimidation and just show you're on the bull. Like, I'll fucking go all y'all.
Yeah.
You don't need to do anything. Just show your facial emotion and then they'll be like, whoa, okay. And then go play.
This is Sam Bitten. His brother Will had been in the organization. Last year was his first year playing professionally over in North America. He was an OHL kid, but then played over like in Czech for the first couple of years.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that was.
But then, but every whistle, he would just turn around. Whoever was near him, he would just be like, "What, you want it? Like, let's go." You know what I'm saying? Like, there were scrums. I thought they were going to have a bench clearing brawl at the very end of the game.
Really?
Like, the benches cleared. I mean, it was the end of the game, but there was like a big scrum happening at center ice. I loved it, man.
Was there, how many games were there? Just 2?
2 for each team, yeah. So the Blackhawks were here too.
Yeah, and Minnesota.
Yeah. And this is the way to do it. I don't think you need to have like a big tournament and all this type of stuff.
Just go each other here.
One game a day. These scouts were loving it.
Yeah.
Like, I talked to so many people, and
bet.
like the general managers for the teams, like they got one game. You go to Traverse, they have to watch like 4 games in a day. You know, where's your brain at for game 3 and 4, man?
Not there.
You know what I'm saying?
I know. It's like anything else, like doing radio for 6 hours. Like, embarrassing. It's hard, man. You got to be fresh watching these guys.
Got to be fresh.
You know.
Yeah. So anyway,
it's coming, baby. Hockey season's coming. Let's go.
And listen, Sam Bitten, like, you know, it probably isn't like a threat to make the Blues, the NHL Blues, but you know what? He's making an impression to make Springfield, you know, stay in the American League and whatever, you know, all that, you know. So, and who knows, man? I'm curious to see the evolution of Matt Rempe this year. Last year, he kind of came on the scene and just took the league by storm, and everybody celebrated it. And teams were going into games like ready to take him on. You know what I'm saying? It was like, what's he going to do? Is he going to run one of our guys? Is he going to try to fight? And how does he handle it now going into this season where he's going to have to play under specific guidelines that the coaches are asking him to do just to stay in the lineup? Because he wasn't even in the lineup down the stretch in the important games last year or in the playoffs all the time. So he wants to play. So what's going to change, and how are other teams around the league going to react to a guy like Matt Rempe being in the league? Are teams going to start putting a player like this on their roster? Are guys who maybe thought they had no chance of ever playing in the NHL 18 months ago, will they now be given an opportunity to jump on an NHL team?
I'll tell you this. He's got a couple different options. I know he's fighting with Georgie Larocque up in Canada there. It's fine. Mm-hmm. You're tough enough. Pretty soon people aren't going to fight you. Like, they're just not.
You think he's that scary?
Why would you when he's playing 3 minutes a night or 4 minutes a night or 5 minutes a night? So what are you going to do? If you start playing well and getting opportunities, like actually you watch him play, like he's in the right spots. He scored a couple nice goals. He's got to be able to keep his feet moving and make plays and try to contribute. And once he starts playing more and more minutes, now he doesn't have to fight anybody, and now he's a threat, hitting guys, doing this, doing that.
That's what it is.
He's gonna get weeded out if he's just going up and playing 3 minutes. No one needs to deal with him. Mm-hmm. Why would you fight him? Mm-hmm. Unless he crushes people. But if he's playing consistently, maybe penalty kills here and there because he's a big guy and he's somewhat quick with his feet. Mm-hmm. Like, God, he could be a huge threat. If he figures his game out, he could be really, really dominant.
Yeah, hitting first.
And the guys aren't going to let you hit him either.
Shift without fighting.
Dude, he's going to go in on guys this year and watch. And these guys are going to give the ole. And he's just going to, he can't just, don't hit the boards, go get the puck. Like, they're going to give him opportunities because of his size. Like, he's got a long reach. Like, he could disrupt things. He's pretty quick. Just get confident with the puck, man.
Is it hard not to get caught up in the fans chanting your name and the energy you feel every time you touch the ice in MSG?
For me, God, yeah. For me, it would be.
And the coaches, like, having to deal with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got to calm them down. Calm them down. It's not crazy as it was back in the day either. Like, you're only going to have a couple options a night. You got to think, like, if he had heavies every night that you have to think about, that you're going to go off the bat every single night, heavyweight, maybe multiple. It's hard to go in that game like, I'm not going to think about him. Oh, really?
But answer my question here. Are there players, Cam, who teams, along with the player, 18 months ago thought no chance whatsoever? Will there be certain players now who may get an opportunity to play? Will he open the door for other guys who are similar to him, may not be as good or as skilled, or you talk about the feet and whatnot? Will they be given an opportunity to get into the NHL and
you just got to be able to skate and hit, dude. Because, again, if he I mean, he's loud right now because he's a unique guy. He's big. He's personality-wise. He's in the Big Apple. He's doing his thing. He's fighting guys toe-to-toe. Like, it's different. So he's getting a lot of attention. So that could get weeded out in 2 seconds. Like, he could sit every single game next year. You know, he could if he's not hitting and doing all these other things. So to answer your question, like, you have to have it all now, dude. Like, you can't just do.
You're not bringing it.
You're not even getting a chance then. It's because you're tough down there. You're going to fight once in a while. Listen, Matt Rempe's going to look in line. Like, again, I said back in the day, like, you'd have to think about this guy. But if there's no other guy on that team, go fucking play. Go play and get, like I said, after whistles, like, what? I'm playing 13 minutes now. Oh, I'm only penalty killing once in a while. I'm hitting guys clean. You don't even have to rock guys that much. You just got to get in there and disrupt.
The difference
he could be, is he that skilled? I don't know.
The difference is now, in a salary cap world, teams spend to the cap for the most part. They don't have room for a guy like that. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, you're exposing a player to waivers or sending a guy down that's making money. Like you.
Well, what's the difference between him and a fourth line guy that doesn't fight?
Not him. I'm just saying other guys around the league, maybe who are considered tough guys, but don't bring those intangibles. It's just tough to crack a roster.
No, you got to have something, man. Like you got to put some points up now, and you got to bring some other element, or you're not gonna last as a 3-minute guy. You should not.
There was a guy on the Blackhawks named DJ King.
Oh yeah,
this past weekend.
My boy Kinger. Give me a little shout out, my boy DJ King, baby. God, he was hilarious. I loved him.
I know.
Me and him were fighting for jobs in St. Louis, and he was my fucking good buddy, just like Eric Bolton was. God, was he funny when he drank. Scariest.
Who?
DJ. Scariest looking son of a bitch ever, Kinger. But he would be so sweet to everybody.
Nice guy. Yeah.
The nicest guy. Even when he was wasted, he'd be hilarious. He wasn't a mean drunk. I love those kind of the funny guys that when they're drunk, they're hilarious. That's Kinger, man. I love you, buddy. He's in Saskatchewan. Shit-kicking motherfucker right there. He's a cowboy.
Oh, yeah.
He's a cowboy. I follow him on Facebook.
Yeah. And his brother,
King Dog.
Dwight.
Dwight's all... God, get him on.
I know. Stanley Cup winner.
We should get both them on.
Together.
That'd be hilarious.
They're different, though.
They
deserve their own
my boy.
platform.
Kinger. Yeah. Tougher than dog
Matt
shit.
D'Agostini's working with the Blues, too, man.
God, he's hilarious, too.
I know.
Just a good, funny... I love the funny guys.
He's funny.
God, he was funnier than shit. Just cool, man. A cool guy. I know it's a simplistic way to evaluate somebody, but I'm telling you that, like,
I love the fact
I wanted to be by him all the time.
I love that Army's opening the door for some of these guys to get back involved.
Man. I like that.
You know, and get on the ice during these camps and stuff.
I like that a lot. You know, I do.
So
got a good group of guys in here, man, and it's building up. More alumni are coming through.
We got Andrew Peters coming up.
Big boy.
Again, we wanted to get into Buffalo, and there's a lot of people in Buffalo, like some people, and you know how it is, Cam. You get tied down by a team or whatever. You can only say this guy can say whatever the hell he wants, and I think he speaks for a lot of people too.
I think you're right on that.
Who are probably even employed by the organization, but they can't come out and say it. So
he even talked about. I don't think he's welcome.
Apparently not, which is a shitty feeling.
That'd be terrible.
That'd be terrible.
If I went,
I think he could go to the alumni room.
Well, that's what he said.
Do they have a box?
That's why I think I asked him that. That's what we do hear what Peter says about how he's treated because of his podcast with Craig Rivet. And I'm thinking to myself, and Andy, who are you kidding too? Like me and you were like blackballed walking into Enterprise Center. I would feel horrible.
Yeah.
I see these guys everywhere, all different events, and I can't go up to the Tom Stillman or Zimmer, who I'm going to do an event with coming up.
Yeah.
I would be devastated. And I know some guys that are close to me that went through that, and it's a fucking terrible feeling.
Who went through what?
Just fucking kind of got black, like went through some shit.
By the Blues?
Yeah.
Really? Oh yeah.
Well, they fucked up.
Some people, yeah.
Well, they fucked up.
Yeah, but that's on them.
I know.
But
at the time you're like, and then they're like, God, I don't want this.
No. And they like try. Yeah, it's tough.
It's tough, man. Like we all coexist in this town.
But now it's great. The organization for the Blues has never been better. I mean, it's a obviously winning helps, but it was even before that, man. They were building and building and building towards winning before they eventually did. And it's just a very good environment down there. I was at Belle Rive Country Club, Cam. I did not golf on Friday night. I was thinking about teeing off a couple.
Kabam, kabam, kabam. Like, what is he? It's like
they had a contest for like closest to the pin or something, and I just didn't.
Yeah. No, just go speak afterwards.
But
Raise
Jordan
money.
Bennington is just the best dude.
He's the nicest dude in the world. Love him.
Chaser is out there. Chaser's got like very thick hair again. That's why he's feeling great.
Good. I've seen him. He's been he's everywhere.
Everywhere.
It's unbelievable. He's been traveling everywhere. I see him posting just pictures everywhere. So, and he looks good. Well, he was little Chaser shout out, inducted into Missouri
Hockey,
hockey,
Missouri Sports Hall of Fame.
Sorry. So shout out to Chaser.
Yeah.
For that. Damn right. You know.
All right. So Andrew Peters.
Yeah.
Give me your top storyline for the Buffalo Sabres this year.
The top storyline.
Well,
what would it be?
Well, Lindy Ruff. How is this?
What can he do?
Is this going to be?
You know.
Because it sounds like he's like running the organization.
Are you going to be entertaining? Because you're probably not going to be that good. Are you going to make a step, at least a step, to where people and some of these young players are like, I want to watch you. I want to spend money at that rink, even though it's fucking minus goddamn 20, and you got a shit-kicking storm coming. Are people going to come watch your kids play, your players play, even if you're not that good? Because you're probably not going to be. You got to figure something out.
Can Dahlin and Tage Thompson,
is he going to be back?
Put the team on their back. Yeah. Well, he's got he was not healthy. I think he will be back. He's got such a unique skill set. And I hope he plays his way back into people kind of like removing him from the equation for Team USA and stuff like that. Like, I wouldn't be so quick to do that.
Yeah, I don't do it.
He's
when
6'5", 6'6".
He's unbelievable. With hands, he's graceful when he's in weird spots where he can get around guys.
He and Clayton Keller, I want to say the U18s, played on the same line together and like were really, really good.
Oh God, those two, Jesus!
Put them back together.
Salt Lake, I saw the new unis.
What are they? It's like a men's league uniform.
I know.
Utah.
Hey,
you can't come up with a name.
Not yet.
Because they need time for everything.
They're going to do it 1 year and they're going to figure it out next year. That's fine.
It's goofy.
Let them go through a goofy phase. It's been goofy. It's been goofy for years.
Those poor guys.
I feel bad for the team. Now they're in a new spot. I don't want to bash them right now.
No, I'm not bashing them.
The rink's goofy a little bit. They're going to fix that. They're going to have I got the Olympics coming up, or what are they? Or no,
they got coming up in like 34 or something like that.
Okay, so they got a lot of stuff going on in Salt Lake City. You got a new hockey team. I'm not going to chirp their name this year. I'm not going to chirp their uniforms. I hope it's.
I don't know if it's 34. I don't know how the math adds up. Whatever, 36 or whatever.
Is it 30? Whatever. They
30s.
got things going on. It's all good. So they got a hockey team. It's fine. I'm not chirping them right now. Things have been horrible for years and years and years. Now you got something new. You got to sort your thing out. Don't. Fucking take your time. Take your time. People are going to be interested in what we got going on. Figure out a cool name. Figure out a cool fucking uniform. Fix that rink, and we'll go from there.
Will they be Vegas?
No.
Marsha showed.
We looked at their lineup.
Blew up, dog.
Speaking of lineups, I don't know if
Utah.
Oh,
we did.
I know.
We were like,
my bad.
We wanted to get somebody on from Utah, and they're
not going to be that good.
It was trying to who would make sense. It's hard to. We couldn't really align it. Keller would obviously be our guy, and he was at the media tour in Vegas.
Yeah.
So he wasn't able to jump on with us, and we couldn't make the timing work. But yeah, behind that, I mean, they get a little bit thin.
Yeah. So, but I'm curious about that, the setup, the scene.
I think everybody is.
Yeah. So I'm not chirping. That's all.
I'm not going to chirp either. They've been chirped enough.
You've been chirpy today.
Was I chirpy? With what?
Toronto. I don't like that.
Oh God! I didn't mean to do that already.
No, I agree with him, but I just don't want the fans
already. Hey,
I gotta stick up for Andy.
Berube's my guy. Marner's my guy, and I'm gonna have a Marner jersey hanging up here next week. Okay.
I like Mitchie boy.
Marner's my guy. Berube's my guy. Matthews is my guy. Nylander's my guy.
Yeah.
Tree Living's my guy.
Okay, everybody's your guy. Jesus Christ.
And then Mike Van Ryan's my guy.
He's a good dude.
Now we get past that.
You chirped them.
We got to see what's going on.
I just got to,
And they got Tanev and everything.
Yeah, they'll be all right. It'll be good.
It's just going to be a tough. They're just not good enough.
Yeah.
You think they're good enough? No, that's your answer.
Yeah, probably not.
I gave you the left wingers.
I know. It's all good. They got some big boys though.
Cam and Strick Podcast is brought to you by First Form, baby. Firstform.com/Cam and Strick. Use our link, order something, send us your order. You're automatically included into a major entry that we have. This is the last week to do it. To show us, and then we'll do another one probably.
I got a bunch, by the way, so I'm going to pick out we might have to pick out a couple.
It's hard. I know. So send us you got to use our link. Send us your order. With the order number, so then you can automatically be included. And if we pick you, you will receive a prize pack from First Form and Cam and Strick.
Yep.
And I'll sign and I'm going to sign something for you.
And Andy will sign something. Story time with Andy or something like that.
Auction that off.
But
Firstform.com/Cam and Strick.
Yeah.
Illinois Recovery Center, Cam.
My boys right there.
Talk to them.
They're the real deal. They really are. Swansea, Illinois. It's right down the road.
Clayton Keller's.
Where Clayton Keller lives. And it's just right across, go Highway 40, man. It's just right there. If you guys are in St. Louis. But you don't have to be in St. Louis to be able to come down here, man. They'll take care of a lot of people. We know people. No matter
where you're from.
Wherever you're at, dude. They'll take care of you.
Guys from Michigan.
And I'm vouching for Chrissy and Eric Conley. Like, I know these guys. I've known them for a while. And I know the facility, and I know the people that run it. And they are the real deal, and you get work done there. It's no joke. You go in there and you get your shit done, and all of a sudden you get out of there and you want to rule the world, your family, everything. Like you have so much more energy. You got the demon out of you. Check it out. It's IRC. It's Illinois Recovery Center.
IllinoisRecoveryCenter.com. Message us and we'll help you get in touch with Chrissy and Eric.
Dang right.
We had listeners come down from Michigan.
Yeah, man.
Shilly plastering, Cam.
Man.
At Shilly, you get no.
So, you get great service.
You don't get cracks in your plastering, probably.
Oh no. Well, you do. And you got to get it fixed.
Not if you have Pebble Tech.
Get the Pebble Tech.
It's 5-year technology, 5-year warranty on that.
Get the Pebble Tech. God dang it. No, if you do have a goddamn
turn your backyard into a.
Man, you know how many days
oasis.
You know how many days I wasted, by the way. Not having a pool in my backyard.
Me too.
To where I'm like, God, I'm a water motherfucker. Like, I like getting in water. I swam in rivers, lakes, oceans, all that shit. I love it. I like being in water, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I just remember looking at my backyard like, God, make some more goddamn money.
I know.
And get a pool.
I need you to get out there on the pavement and start selling a little more.
Okay.
I'll have some things for you to do here coming up.
I got some things going on. It's all good. That's a lot more money because we got things to do around the house still. But I do look back there and I'm like, God, eventually.
Shilly plastering. Say hi to Ryan.
Ryan,
dude.
What's up, baby? I would love to get a pool. And I would use Shilly plastering. They've been around for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Like his dad, too. He was good to me in AAA, baby. What's up, baby? What's up, Davey? Yeah.
Some great AAA hockey here this past weekend, too.
Yeah, big tourneys.
Some games coming up next weekend. Yeah, we're in the thick of things, Cam.
I know.
So
I'm going to go see some of these games.
Hell yeah.
If they're at Centene, I'll go.
Want to come to Chicago for an out-of-town tournament?
Hell nah.
No. Hat launch, baby.
Yeah.
You got the hat on right now. That came from Hat Launch.
Yeah, it did. Yank.
We've got a bunch of stuff coming from Hat Launch. They have shirt launch as well, man. They're the #1 source for customized hats in America. Nobody does it better than Hat Launch. So if you need a hat, there's no better place to go. We've had a number of people reach out to Hat Launch who are now having customized hats built for their company.
Yeah.
Hockey clinics and hockey teams and hockey, whatever baseball it is, man. Teams. If you're a skills coach and you want to have like a hat that represents your company.
Yeah.
Could be a
company,
team,
could
construction
be
company.
Yeah.
No matter what it is.
Yep.
A school. Hell yeah. You got to get your hat, man, because every hat tells a story.
It does. It does, Andy. And this one tells that I drink a lot, I guess.
Oh, my God.
Well, that's what I say.
That's not what it would mean if anybody else had it on.
Yeah, it would.
Just mean you represent.
Nah, I think that would. That's why they want to get it.
Yoink.
You know, that's why they want to get it. I tell you what, the leaves are changing in St. Louis right now. It puts me in a dang good mood.
Not quite yet. Because it's been like 100 degrees every day.
No,
and humid.
No, it hasn't. It's been 80, 85. It's been pretty nice.
It's been very humid. You know how hot it was Saturday? My daughter's soccer game, dude. I thought I was just gonna melt out there.
It'll get cold quick.
Well, let's get it going.
But it needs to rain.
And Weatherman Cam, when is it gonna get cold? We have to wait till October?
No, November.
I don't need that cold.
No,
I just want October. I want to go high as 68, dude. That's what I want.
Yeah, that'll be October.
Yeah.
68, and it'll get down in the 40s, and it'll be beautiful.
That's
so it'll
perfect.
be, not 30s, 40s.
No, I don't need all
68, no humidity, dry air. I'll go down to a Big Cedar, baby. We're in a boat. Put a goddamn jacket on and go cruise.
Yeah.
Nobody be down there.
Yeah, hat launch.
Kate
baby.
and I will do our thing. We
Hatlaunch.com.
partied Saturday night.
We got to give Dave Novak the proper shout out here, buddy, for Blue Note Roofing, because now is a great time to get you. Listen, they do the best roofing jobs ever. I've never seen anyone do it better. Nobody does it better than Dave Novak. He does it better. They say, I had a guy tell me I've never seen anybody, anything like Dave Novak. So Dave Novak, man, Blue Note Roofing, man. Gutters, soffit, fascia, roofing.
And you know what?
Siding,
there are
dude.
some storms in St. Louis, man. To
Look
take
for
advantage
that
of
big yellow and blue truck, man. It has a Blue Note on it. It says Blue Note Roofing. You got to call Dave.
Get it done.
314-920-5713.
Take advantage.
Illinois, too, man. If you're on the Illinois side, they'll come right over to you. No issues.
Right.
I lost my Survivor pool yesterday for football. I've never won it. Every year I think I'm going to win.
Listen.
It's for thousands
of
of dollars.
Stop you. We're going on 2.5 hours.
Yeah, I know.
And now you're talking about straight up bullshit.
The Survivor pool.
Like Andy's going to be like, hey, guess what? My dream last night. No one gives a fuck about that. Don't waste our time. Don't waste our time.
I picked Baltimore. They lose to the Raiders at home. What is wrong with these football teams, man? I'm this close to I'm done with it. And it was Dave Novak's Survivor pool, so that's why I'm throwing it.
Don't waste people's time.
So that's why
I have to protect them.
That's why I'm including
I have to protect
it
them.
into this particular time of the show.
You did a lot today.
Yeah.
You did good.
Yeah.
You need to calm down a little bit.
Dave Novak's Survivor pool.
I get you. Just talk about his company. Just don't
get
off
you
track.
talk about the company.
No, because you come back and
I need you to
come
talk
back
about
and you make it around about you. How can I create a story with me in it? You got to calm down.
Talk about the pool.
It was a good day for you. Maddie's on Suey Watch back there. I'm sorry.
You can't say that. You can't say that.
My God. So anyway, it's all good.
Last week you were Mean Cam, remember?
I'm not today. I've been great.
Last week you were. Mean Cam came out.
Well, God, sometimes
it happens
I
once
can't
every
help
6 weeks.
I can't help it sometimes. It's all good.
He's in a bad mood or
today
something.
Was good.
Yeah, you've been good today.
Pretty good.
314-920-5713. Tell them to call.
Give a call. Get it done and get it done now. Your house looks 10 times better with a new roof. And by the way,
exciting
all that stuff, and not to mention that hailstorm that happened in May. Take advantage of that.
Yeah. All insurance. They take it.
Dang right.
Blue Note Roofing, Dave Novak. Proper cannabis, baby. Use our Cam and Strict 20 promo code. It'll save you 20%. You got to have the 20 at the end. Cam and Strict 20. All y'all listening, man. Yeah, I know you go to Proper. Get 20% off, dude. It's a great deal. And they love it when you mention Cam and Strict, too.
Oh, yeah, man.
They got everything. They got the honeybee edibles.
Yeah.
They got the nighttime. Night.
Chinatown. I'm telling you right now. If you're fucking edgy at night, if you want to go to bed,
sleepy time, baby,
and you wake up and it's not like taking a Benadryl.
It's not.
Benadryl, you're like this. Do
you do that?
No, unless I have to.
You know, I don't really take any medicine.
Oh God,
I don't. No medicine.
Good for you. He's organic. It's all good.
Unless I really.
Sometimes you need medicine.
Sometimes you do, and that's when I'll take it.
But with a cold, I just kind of suck it up. Stuff like that.
Oh, that time of year is coming too. I hate that.
Yeah.
Kids get sick in school and stuff like that.
I know. And then you get me sick. It's all good. I'll suck it up.
Listen, so if you're having trouble with pain, anything like that, then take advantage of Proper.
They got it all. Go talk to the people. They'll tell you everything what's going on. They love doing it. They're so nice.
It's not just about.
And don't be intimidated walking in there. All you guys do is show your ID.
The best customer service ever.
Yeah, I'm just saying, if you're new to walking into a cannabis store, it could be just a little bit different.
It's different.
I'm telling you, these guys are cool as hell.
They have a drive-through, by the way.
That's another thing. But if you want them to describe and explain to you what you're looking for, they will be more than happy to. And they're very, very sweet.
Tell them what you want.
Maybe you don't know what you want.
Right.
So they'll let you know about everything. How do you want to feel? What is going on with you? So they're cool as hell, man.
Say my carpal tunnel, my arthritis, insomnia.
Yeah, we know. Dude, you got it all, But if you do have anything like that, they will honestly help you. Totally cool people.
Yeah. There's a difference in the customer service you get there versus going to a hockey shop and you deal with Seth, Cam.
Oh, God. No, he had people texting us about that.
Who would ruin your weekend more than?
I don't know. Well, your kid's falling down. He busts his AC joint up because
Get a Sparks.
Seth did his, sharpened his skates. He doesn't give a shit about anything. He was up all night playing video games, creeping out. Who the fuck knows? Yeah, he's a weird bird, and he's sharpening your kid's skates.
No experience.
No experience.
Knows nothing about hockey.
There's scouts up in the stands, and they're literally watching your kid. He's sliding over the place. And they're like, this kid's not, he looks like Bambi out there. Well, fuck boy, sharpening the skates. And now your kid.
Who?
Fuck boy. And then they're like, well, I'm going to give him a C on this one. He used to be an A. Now he's falling over the goddamn place. Get his Sparks. Don't deal with that crap.
Like, damn, what happened to Johnny this weekend?
Johnny.
Oh, he had Seth sharpen his skates. Yeah. Don't ruin the tournament. Don't ruin the weekend, guys.
Simple. It's not expensive.
Get yourself a Sparks. It's the best, most convenient thing you'll ever invest in. If you're a hockey parent, I don't know how you don't have one. I really don't. You go down in your basement. Ty had practice yesterday at 6:30 in the morning, dude. And I needed to get his skates sharpened. And I didn't do that the night before. And I wouldn't even want to get out of my house to go drive to the hockey shop.
No. Well, it's not open.
Why would I do that? Just go into the basement.
It's not open. And there's a lot of practice at 6:30 in the morning and late at night or whatever. You have it right there. It doesn't take long either.
Correct. So, 5 minutes.
Easy peasy, baby.
I love it, man. It makes me feel like I have my own little hockey shop.
Yeah.
Bring your skates, Kim. I'll sharpen your skates for you.
I mean, if I had to, I would.
Yeah, bring them over.
I really would.
What do you use on your skates?
Probably a half inch now. Yeah. I used to do 3/8. It's probably.
Is that what you used as a player?
Yeah, I think so. Bert would know. I haven't sharpened my skates in forever. I just have that little thing goes yoink, 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 yoink.
Yeah.
And then I'm just.
Yeah, so get a Sparks, man. Don't go to Seth and don't let him ruin your weekend. SparksHockey.com. Use the promo code Cam and Strick. It'll save you more money than Black Friday and Cyber Monday.
Okie dokie. But they will.
That's coming up soon, by the way.
I know. I'm excited for all that stuff.
Oh, I can't wait.
I love it, man.
Yeah.
I love walking into my house when it smells like Christmas and Thanksgiving and Halloween. Halloween's first. Kate's going to decorate that
We may put a Christmas tree on our set this year.
Kate is going to decorate that house so Halloween-y. I love it.
Halloween-y.
I'm going to make some goddamn good chili. Damn good chili is what I'm going to do.
Cam at Bellman, you get no.
Swinging dicks, none of that shit. Some badass vehicles they got, man. You can find anything you want out. Troy, Missouri. Check them out. Danny, Kenny, Dale. Where the fuck are you, Dale, boy? Get back to work.
I'm looking for you, Dale.
Dale, where's Dale? I need him. What's up, guys? Love all y'all, man. Keep doing your thing out there in Troy, Missouri.
Hell yeah.
Troy, Missouri.
Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram on one side of the street. On the other side, Cam, you just throw a rock, you'll hit it. Buick GMC.
Don't do that.
Well, I'm just saying.
Don't do that.
Buick GMC.
Buick GMC. Get that Buick, too. I don't mind that goddamn Buick.
Who would?
God dang Buick.
I see these Denali trucks, though, all over.
Funny how it works. I mentioned something to Andy. Andy loves Denali trucks now. It's
I do.
You are a chameleon.
They're so nice. I love them.
Oh, God.
Don't.
Andy in conversations with all the guys talking about swinging dicks, all that stuff. Now he wants a Denali.
It's not true.
Get on with yourself.
Get on with yourself.
But now you know that there's cool things out there like that. Those Denalis are shit kicking.
Yeah,
dude.
they are. It's not. I probably would need I'd rather have a Yukon or something like that.
Those are cool too. Dang right.
Yeah. For what I need.
Yeah. No, I know.
What I need.
I know. It's you.
Andrew Peters, baby. Let's talk some Buffalo Sabres on the Cam and Strick podcast. The Cam and Strick podcast is brought to you by First Form, baby. Use our link and do it today. www.firstform.com/Cam and Strick.
Get jacked now. They are the real deal.
Get that protein, check out the apparel, eat those bars, and drink those energy drinks. Firstform.com/Cam and Strick.
Yeah.
Now on to the interview.
What are you doing, dude? You at your house?
Yeah, I'm at my place. Got my little guy. So I'm week on, week off with him with my my custody agreement. So he's with me this week, and that's basically it. I do the podcast, and I assistant coach youth hockey that my kid doesn't play on, and that's it. I raised my kid. That's it, man. That's all I'm doing. Podcast, kid. That's my life.
I get you.
Good for you, man.
I get you.
And you guys do a great job too.
Damn right.
You and Craig at Rebay. Now listen, you were coaching the U15 Junior Sabres, right? Last year?
No. That was a long time ago. I was coaching the Junior Sabres. Not a long time ago, but 6, 7, 8 years ago, somewhere in there. But now I coach 10U, changing the lives of 10-year-olds. My nephew, Cam, I don't know. Did you ever play against my brother Jeff?
Probably.
G-E-O-F-F? Yeah,
Probably.
you guys definitely
Where?
cross paths. 100% cross paths. He was in the American League for a bunch of years. So his kid plays, and I just go out and help. My kid doesn't even play hockey.
Okay.
Really?
So yeah.
Did you try to get him into it? Were you like, let's go? And he just didn't want to, or what?
It was a very casual, lackluster introduction to the game of hockey. But no, I didn't force it on him. I tried it. I had to try it. I had to give him the chance to say no, but I didn't think he'd like it anyway, just based on kind of the direction he was going when I did that. But he does everything else, though. Literally plays every other sport.
Okay. That's cool then.
Well, listen, hey, we just hit record and we just go. But like hockey's different though, like because it's such a commitment from the parents too. Like you have to be just as committed as the kid, really, up until they're about 15, 16 years of age when they can get themselves to the rink.
I billeted 2 kids too. Like when I was coaching the junior Sabres. So I was coaching the junior Sabres. I had a 3-year-old at home. I'm going through a divorce. I got 50-50 custody, and I got two kids living with me. And I had to get these guys to the rink. And it's just like, and I had to coach, and you got to feed them. So like I lived the teenage hockey parent life just without the expenses. And I can tell you that is crazy enough. Like, you're playing elite level hockey. You're traveling all over the place. It is insane. Then now let's talk about the expense of hockey, which is insane to go along with the travel and the schedule. Hockey is I got to tell you, man, it's a very interesting sport. Especially now that I have a much different seat in it. You know what I mean? Where like my kids playing other sports, and I keep saying to myself, as I pay for all of them, God, I'm so grateful he doesn't play hockey.
No shit.
I tried to get Cam to be a billet.
No, I will. No, I don't. They will be sniffing my wife's underwear in no time. I can't have that. Can't have it.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going there.
I'm just saying.
I was a single guy. I had these 2 teenagers, and I'm just living vicariously through these guys and their conversations and the shit they had going on in their life. But one of them's actually advanced on. He Luke Tuck played at BU. Yeah, he was a second rounder to Montreal.
Oh, nice, man.
Signed back in May or June or April or something after the national championships were all over, and then played a couple games in the minors, and he's at camp now. So I mean, it's nice to see the kids move on and grow up and play too, right? But just I don't know how their parents did it, man. It's fucking insane.
Wait a minute. So Luke Tuck though isn't he from Buffalo? Like where his parents?
Syracuse. Yeah. So like an hour and 30 up the road.
Got it.
So far enough that you have to bill it, unless you're like really nuts and you're willing to do that drive every day.
We know some of those people too, man. They'll drive 2 hours every day. From Springfield, Illinois.
Yeah, man.
So we were up in Toronto last year with our team down here, the Amherst Knights, and we have a good little team. I mean, the junior Sabres are the elite of the elite, and then we're like the second AAA team. But I mean, they would beat us for sure. But I mean, it's just we still have really good AAA players. And we went up to Toronto and we played Don Mills Flyers. And do you ever play against a guy named Mike Duco anywhere? Do you remember that name, Cam?
Cam can't remember anything.
He can't remember
anything. He doesn't know he doesn't know the name of the
I'm
mailman.
not that bad.
That's okay.
I'm not that bad.
I bet you surely remember one of your teammates' names, Marty Brodeur, right? Like you don't forget those.
Don't know
guys.
him either. Of course.
But anyway, he was telling me he coaches the Don Mills Flyers. He was just telling me about hockey in Toronto, and it's just I mean, from even when he changed, and it's a different level and stratosphere of cost and everything else. So, but anyway, I'm sure we didn't come on here to talk youth hockey. That's for sure.
It doesn't matter.
No, but you know what? Hey,
we're curious about that shit, man.
I do hear about this kid though. He's the same age as my kid. Like they're young, and I just haven't seen him. But like on the spring hockey circuit, like everyone's like talking about this kid.
Really?
And he's the son of the Buffalo Sabres equipment trainer. You know who I'm talking about? I think they were saying he's the Buffalo Sabres equipment guy has a son. who apparently is a stud. Maybe he's the medical trainer. I don't know. We might take this out.
No,
We're not.
No, there is. Would you know what age group? Would it be 10?
2000. He's a 8U probably. Maybe he's playing with the 10Us. 2016.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I honestly, I don't. I'm not that. I can honestly tell you, I'm not that dialed into youth hockey. I only know the kids on our team, and that's it.
Okay.
And then any of my friends who have kids that play. Other than that, but there are some kids. I will say this right now. I know that there's a guy who used to be a goalie and coached in pro. His name's Bob Janos, and his kid is
he's the
special.
Goalie coach. That's what it is.
He knows everything.
Sorry, goalie coach, not equipment trainer.
He's not a
Figure
trainer. He's not hip flexors and groins. He's a goalie coach.
He's the goalie
he
coach.
Stretches that out.
Yes.
Bob Janos. Yes, and his kid is different level.
Yeah, I've heard about him.
For this. Yeah, you probably through the brick tournament and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's you can't say when a kid's 10 if he's the real deal, but as far as 10-year-olds go,
no, I know.
He's the real deal. Like
he's
going to shelf you every night.
Yeah. Okay, so the goalie coach. So we got through that, man. See, you're dialed in enough to know who we got there, Andrew. You know?
Yeah. Well, listen, I mean, but that just goes to show you how good the kid is.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, if I've heard of him, boys, the kid's fucking great. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Not if I've seen him and told you about him, but if I've heard of him, I can tell you that he must be good because I have no idea.
So how you doing, man? Like, you look good, dude. You didn't put much weight on. Like my face is fat. Like, I get that. I know it. Like, I put weight on, but you look good. Like, are you working out? What are you doing?
I'm going to pull a line out of the movie The Breakup where he says, I've managed to look the same while not having any muscle at all. You know what I mean?
But good for you, though. Good for you.
It's amazing. It's the body weight is actually within my playing weight days. Like, I think I weighed the other day, I was like 233, and I'm absolutely disgusted with myself. And I'm just kind of like, it's the different kind of 233, you know? It's like, it's like the Family Guy side boobs segment or episode. You know what I mean? Like,
sloppy.
It's just so, yeah. But I feel good. Body's good. You know, I love what I do. I love the podcast. I work with River every day. But I mean, I don't know. I mean,
you skate?
No.
Okay.
When I coach, I skate. I played in a charity game not long ago. Strung a guy up against the glass with my gloves on, decided if I wanted to kill him, and I just was like, just skate away.
No.
I can't play men's league. Everyone seems, this isn't like the token line, but everyone seems to just always want to fight to see what you're going to do.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Dude, get the alumni together. We skate with the alumni here. You should get all those
alumni games are different. I don't skate in the alumni games. I don't skate, man.
I get you.
I don't want to skate. How's that? I don't like skates.
They're fucking uncomfortable.
They are uncomfortable. That's why my kid doesn't want to play. He's like, Dad, I don't like the equipment. I'm like,
yeah, well,
any pair of shoes you want, any sport you play, I don't care.
Like, play soccer. It's cheaper.
Play something.
Something.
Although soccer's not cheap.
No,
they travel everywhere too.
Nothing is.
My daughter's cleats cost more than my son's skates. Actually, he's still in like the little skates. You know what I mean? So they're still. We haven't gotten into that $1,000 bracket, but every sport's expensive now.
It's the coaching and the training. It's ridiculous. You know what sport my kid's getting into is tennis. I'm going to tell you that's going to be one that's going to be the one that sinks the ship, boys.
Does he train with Pagula?
Well, we just were at the U.S. Open over the weekend. We got to go watch Pagula and Sabalenka in the final, and I'm going to tell you what, this kid, he's addicted to it. He loves it, but it's just, you know, the sport itself it has, you know, an interesting aroma to it.
Mm-hmm. You know, it's fancy, dude. It's fancy. It's a fancy,
very fancy sport. Yeah. I mean, you know, it's like, it's just, So that's kind of the path I think I'm going down right now.
But tennis, though, can't you just like drive around and see like a tennis court and be like, let's go fucking hit?
This is true. And that's a great point. Yeah. And that's how he plays. That's what we do. We live in Orchard Park, and there's a place called Chestnut Ridge. It's 5 minutes up the road. It's a gorgeous state park, and they've 12 brand new courts, and we go there. We're there for hours every day in the summer. So, you know, that's kind of what we do. But I mean, eventually you have, like hockey, if you're good, you have to you have to kind of move up. You got to spend a little bit more. You might have to get a coach. You might have to travel for a tournament, so
get a really cute coach that's really pretty. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Think of some exotic name like what are they? I don't know.
It doesn't even matter. There she is.
Pedro.
Hire her and be like, yeah, I'll go to your practices.
Listen, you can come play at the Creve Coeur Racket Club anytime you want. Where
a bunch of cool people there.
Cam chirps me for belonging there. But these tennis players, man, they come from all over the world to compete there. It's a great sport.
Player?
Is he? No, but like I've gotten my kids into it, and then they've kind of ended up getting involved in other sports. But I think it's great to kind of get going. Although when they first get going in tennis, they don't do anything. They just kind of like learn how to hit the ball. It's not a whole lot of like cardio.
If you don't know how to hit the ball, then you're not going to have fun playing tennis.
Is he tall like you? Is he tall?
He's tall.
You got to be tall in tennis too.
He's a strong kid. I mean, but if you don't know how to hit the ball, you're never going to enjoy playing.
You can't skate, you can't play hockey, man. It is what it is.
There you go. Yeah, same exact thing. Every sport has that concept. Just like, but I mean, we managed to pull it off. Hey, Cam.
I played roller hockey. Fuck, I had roller hockey. I had to play in my basement, we didn't have ice down here that much, so we just rollerbladed. And it kind of transitioned the right way, It worked out.
You know what?
You can find a way.
I always fancied myself a decent skater for my size in the league. I mean, and for my role, but one thing I was never proud to admit, I don't know why, is that when I was 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, I always had rollerblades on in the summer.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a Ridley Road in St. Catharines was where we lived, right across from Ridley College. And it had a long road, about 1 kilometer long. So it's a little more than half a mile. And the one year when I was about 15, they repaved the whole thing. The whole thing was just smooth. And I went up and down that road.
For nothing. No, it didn't cost you a damn thing.
No.
Get your rollerblades and go.
But you know what I will say, though? I do think it has a little bit of an effect on the stride. Okay. I do think there's a little bit of an effect on the stride. It doesn't translate completely, but I do think for the muscles, from the muscle standpoint and all that, I think it obviously is the same kind of workload, right? But and maybe even more so. But I do think it does have a little bit of a shift in the skating stride.
Like a negative? Or are you saying a positive?
I don't know. I'll say this. I found my brother never rollerbladed, and he was a beautiful skater. I mean, beautiful. And his toe came right in and he extended right out. I was a little more bow-legged. I was now granted I'm taller, but I'm not bow-legged. But I skated bow-legged because I think that's how you have to pick the rollerblades up. Now, we're not talking about these fancy new rollerblades that weigh ounces here. Yeah. I'm talking about the heavy duty ones, man. The concrete blocks with the 4 wheels.
Stopper on the back.
Hey, but it still hasn't changed.
One stopper.
I can watch a kid skate and say, I can pick out who the rollerblade kids are, like right off the bat. You can see the kids who are really good rollerbladers, are roller hockey players. Doesn't always translate to hockey, but you can kind of see them skate a little bit
better than nothing.
Different, and it's not bad.
100%. I'm certainly not criticizing it. I mean, I'm just saying that I do think there is some kind of a little bit of a shift in that.
Yeah. So do you stay pretty connected to the Sabres? Like, are you involved with the organization? Like, you do your podcast?
No, I think we're banned from there.
Are you
really?
Oh yeah. Oh, listen, man. Have you okay? So I understand, like, when you run a podcast, you have a podcast and you're following your own team. It's hard to listen to other shows and stuff. But I mean, we have absolutely destroyed Terry, Kevin, the entire franchise for the last 3 years. And I'm sorry, man. Like, rightfully so. Terry Pagula and I don't know what's going to happen this year. I'm just talking like up to the end of this season. Has been the number one problem with the entire Sabre franchise. He just can't keep his nose out of it. He got kicked out of the meetings in the Bills. Now they're running well. He's not hiring Rex Ryan to coach. He's not keeping Doug Whaley around. He's not keeping executives around that are robbing him of money. He's just like, they're running their own ship, Bean and McDermott, right? He just can't seem. I think he believes he knows hockey. And I hate to be so critical of the guy because he's done so much for the area. Junior Sabre, I don't even need to say it. I don't need to kiss his ass. I'm just going to tell you, he's done a terrible job as an owner. So, yeah,
we never hear from him. He never talks ever.
And why should he? I mean, he shouldn't. He's got Kevin there to do all that for him now. And it's, this has to be his last year if this doesn't work. I mean, like Lindy Ruff was not brought in to be the savior, gentlemen. Okay. He's there to just kind of like be a cost efficient coaching decision because your new coach's contract kicks in this year and he's not even here. And you're like on a wing and a prayer here. You really are. Like, you're hoping that Lindy's a great coach. So I have faith in Lindy, but if this doesn't work this year, man, what's Terry going to do?
You're saying Donnie Granato's contract kicks in this year?
Yeah, 2 years, $2 million.
And he's not even, and he's not there. I was looking it up. All these, like the last 3 or 4 GMs and the last 3 or 4 coaches, like nobody's made the playoffs. It's been like 12 years or something like that in a row.
What is the one common denominator?
Yeah, the owner.
Well, why do you think he shouldn't talk to the media? I mean, we have our owners here, like, they got to fucking do their thing, man.
He doesn't hold daily press conferences.
No.
He speaks before the season starts.
Okay, but like sometimes show your face, shake hands with the people coming in on
fucking. He's visible as hell.
Or whatever.
He's there at every game.
He's there. I think Terry's there. I just don't. First of all, let's just start with this. He's not good. He's not a great guy to interview. Like his. And if you're a PR person, you're actually not putting him in front of the camera. If you like, I kind of think that's why Kim Pegula took that role a little bit before she got ill.
Yeah.
And I just don't think Terry wanted anything to do with it. I don't know that for a fact, but I don't think that anybody down there would disagree that he is not the guy to ever put on the camera, because he says things like, I think in 3 years we'll win a Stanley Cup. This is going to be hockey heaven. And it has been everything but since. So it's things like that. Right. So, and I don't know, does an owner have to speak? I mean, I see what you're saying. I love that your owner speaks. I didn't know that he did. I think that's great, but I don't know that an owner always has to speak. I mean, that's very Jerry Jones-ish. I mean, I guess, let's be honest. A lot of these billionaires, in my opinion, they don't want to be in front of the camera. I mean, these are hobbies to them, right? So it's kind of like, they hire people, presidents of hockey ops, football, whatever, to kind of do these things for them, so they don't have to. There are a lot of these guys are shy. Some of them are probably like, throw me in front of the camera. I'll fuck any camera that you put in front of me, like a Mark Cuban and I'm not criticizing. They're brilliant. They're brilliant when they do it, right? For their brand. They have different brands, but it's like, I just don't think that's Terry Pegula.
Yeah, no, listen, the Blues owner, he's not coming out and talking about the team ever. And that's on purpose, right? He's not asking to be that guy. That's why he hires Doug Armstrong to be the guy to talk about the team. But when they have a big announcement, he certainly is visible. He's there. Yeah. You know where he sits every game.
Yeah.
But when he needs to talk, he'll come out and talk. But he's not holding monthly press conferences, giving daily updates on the team. That. So I know exactly what you're saying. But in the case of Pegula, like, he hasn't spoken in years. Like, you haven't heard from him in years, literally.
Well,
and they miss the playoffs every year, and they're always changing GMs and coaches, and nothing ever changes.
Yeah, there's probably a lot of questions he doesn't want to ask, doesn't want to have to answer, because if you remember when they hired these guys, if I'm not mistaken, I do think this too, and this is why we have been banned, Cam, in case you were wondering.
I wanted to see a game with you.
And we haven't officially been banned. We've kind of banned ourselves under the assumption we've been banned, but I can tell you that I don't think they're going to race to their players and ask them to come on our podcast, which is fine with us, which means they're listening. But fuck, I had a great point I was going to make there. At least I thought it was a great point.
He said he wanted to go to a game with you.
Well, like, are you allowed to, like, go in the building?
Are they going to be like,
oh, yeah.
Do they pay Charles Oakley?
No, but like
MSG.
Yeah, exactly. But do they, like, are you with the alumni to where you're getting paid doing golf tournaments and people want you to do this to go?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, yes,
I'm just
asking.
Right.
I'm not. I say that on my own.
Okay,
I got
account. You. Okay, that's we have fun with that. Like, that would kind of almost be a badge of honor. You know what I mean? Like I went to the Bandits game this year dressed like the guy from the Sign Stealer. I don't know if you guys have seen the Netflix thing yet, the Sign Stealer, but I had like the hat on down, I had the glasses on like
yeah,
this.
we talked about that.
Yeah.
I went in like that. No, but I don't know. As for I totally got sidetracked there, my ADD, but just the Sabres ownership has been very problematic in the last bunch of years, and that's their number one issue. So hopefully they can figure that out. Lindy's a smart guy, right?
Well, you don't see too many owners, especially the billionaire ones, who aren't spending to the cap. That's always interesting to me when you leave yourself that much cap space and you're losing. You just wonder how committed are you? I've read some quotes about using the pandemic as an excuse and some of that, and I'm sure there's some truth to it. But you got a passionate fan base. I know that they fill the building there when the team is competitive, but not spending to the cap and missing the playoffs, man, that's a tough combination.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And there's two sides to that though. Number one, hard to spend money when players right now don't want to come and play here. Yeah. Okay. Because other players around the league are not going to come and play in Buffalo unless they're going to, I don't know which one, cart before the horse, but A, get paid, and B, have a chance to win, or B, have a chance to win, or B, get paid. Like, right. So that has to be, and that is not even been anywhere close to the case here. And then number two, the couple years ago when they had all that cap space, I think they had to reserve some of it because of where they are now. If you look at it, like they just signed, they have Owen Power that kicks in this year at 8 something. Darlene's going to kick in at 11. So they're willing to pay their players internally. Cousins and Thompson, they just paid UPL. So it's not like they're saying to guys like, we're not going to pay you that, or you can go somewhere else. I think they had to, a few years ago when they had all that cap money, and it's amazing. We just talked about this in our podcast today, was, where did the money go? And it went to those guys, because that's why there was so much space, because eventually it's like, well, in 2 years, what are we going to pay Rasmus? In 2 years, what are you going to pay? And now they have to do it still, and they're even closer to the cap, and they got Peterka coming up. They got Tuck in a couple years. They're going to have Jack Quinn, if he can stay healthy and pop 25 to 30 goals this year, which he should be able to do in his sleep. What's he going to get?
Benson is a guy who's going to need a second contract,
Who's that?
Benson, right? I mean,
Benson. How about this one?
Byron,
Bowen Byram.
Yeah.
Right. So, this is where GMing is going to get really hard for them.
Yeah, there's no doubt. But I'm curious your take, man. I mean, I look at some of the teams you played on with Buffalo, and there was always a lot of pride, man. You guys had some really, really good players. You made the playoffs. Lindy Ruff was there the first time getting to the playoffs. Everyone loved watching Buffalo back then, man. They were exciting. You had the announcer, everything. There was so much positivity. And then you have Ryan O'Reilly, who's like the most positive person I've ever met in hockey, saying that he lost his passion for the game by playing in Buffalo. That didn't make the organization look good. And then the whole Jack Eichel situation, we can get into each one of those separately. So we'll start with O'Reilly, but you have these guys there. Why doesn't it work when you have these guys in Buffalo?
Well, have you seen the players that are not on the Sabres anymore that have moved on?
My God.
They're all over.
Like the list. The Florida alone this year, guys, had 5 or 6
winners.
Guys.
Guess Sam Reinhart.
Winners. Okay.
Fuck.
I mean, I don't know. Evander Kane. I loved Evander Kane. I love him as a player. Take the off ice stuff aside. Okay. I'm leaving that as a separate conversation. I'm talking about the player alone. The guy is amazing. All right. That is every team wants 2 or 3 of those types of players. I mean, you had so many, but Bogosian went on to win. I mean, there's, you traded away, you lost William Carrier in the expansion draft. I mean, I think Allmark, who ends up leaving anyway. I mean, it's just kind of like the whole thing is it's crazy when you look at all the players that have left. But I don't have an answer for you with why it couldn't work with all those guys. I don't have an answer for you with why. I think maybe back then you gave Jack Eichel, and you can't take anything away from him now, but we're talking about back then. Jack Eichel did not deserve to wear the C. The contract on potential, that's one thing. But Ryan O'Reilly was your captain. I mean, what a kick in the balls. What a kick in the balls, okay? Like, you have this guy that shows up, is on the ice with the rookies every day, every morning, on the ice last, great attitude. Maybe it got a little exhausting when he'd be like, yeah, this one's on me. I mean, not every loss, not all 60 of those losses that you are on Ryan, but like, that was your captain. So, and then you have all these other young guys, and you got some bickering going on in the locker room between some of the young guys. Like, that was going on. Okay. And that's a kick in the teeth, if you ask me. I mean, then you have a shitty year. I can see why Ryan O'Reilly would have fallen out of love with hockey here when that season for sure. Mm-hmm. And the fans were mad. The fans were mad, and rightfully so, because maybe wrong wording, but he was honest, and it had nothing to do with the fans. It had nothing to do with the fans. I didn't take it that way. I was working for the team at the time. We had to defend it. I mean, imagine being in that situation. I mean, like, Greg was losing his mind. You want to see a frustrated man who couldn't speak the truth? That was him. So yeah, I mean, it was very hard around here for a long time, and it's just mistake after mistake, right? So tough. And you know what? Here's one thing I'll say. Botterill didn't deserve to get fired. He didn't sign Jeff Skinner. Everyone's like, Botterill signed Skinner, and no, he didn't. That was the owner's decision. No GM in the league, even their own team, would give Jeff Skinner $9 million.
Oh man, dude!
And then buy him out.
So like, Botterill, he didn't do that. I don't think he would fire the guys that he was, after the firings, when all those firings happened. I don't think he would fire everybody, and had an issue with some of the promises that were made verbally to people. And they fired him. But he didn't deserve to go because of the job he did. Mm-hmm. So it's just, man, this such a depressing conversation about such a great hockey franchise.
Oh, dude. I know. Yeah, man. Like, we're just like, what the fuck?
And a fan base that is starving for
deserving.
They know the game. They love the game.
I got to ask you something, though. It's interesting. This is very interesting. I went around the locker room of this 10U team that I helped coach, and I was asking the kids before our first game, just for fun, right? Like, I'm the fun guy. I'm like, hey, who are your favorite teams? Like, one of our goalies wears 74. I go, you a Soros fan? He's like, yeah, Nashville. I love Nashville. We got Tampa. We got Florida, Edmonton. We got Vegas. We had like 2 kids say Buffalo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I couldn't, and that was my whole purpose. It was like a little social experiment for
those kids. Have never seen a Buffalo team win ever.
Right. I said, "That's amazing, guys." I said, "You know what?" I said, you have every right." I said, "Don't. I'm not offended." I said, this franchise is not giving you any reason to watch their games. So it's just a fascinating point, and I wonder if the hockey fans here have just grown to either like other teams or just root for the Bills.
Yeah, maybe.
It seems like people around here just don't really care about hockey right now.
What about Tage? They don't like Tage?
Oh, he's everyone's favorite. The guy's incredible, man.
I mean, he's fun to watch, dude.
He's fun to watch. He's, you want to talk about that was a good move by Kevin Adams to sign that deal. And I wasn't, just for argument's sake at the time, I was not in favor of them signing him at the time because after one good year. But I mean, last year he had a broken hand. He came back out of nowhere. Just because the team was struggling, little shot in the arm of morale. And, he couldn't shoot the puck, but he played his ass off. So he's a fan favorite. They love him here. And they should love him here because he works his ass off. Did you ever play against his dad?
Brent? I beat his ass one time in the minors.
I know. Really?
Yeah, no, he jumped me behind the net and I had to take care of business. And I remember interviewing Tage on my first radio show ever, and he was like the worst interview ever.
He was struggling when he was
younger. It was
like
a one-word answer, and I'm like, hey, I beat up your daddy. He's like, oh, okay. I'm like, all right.
Hey,
not many guys can say that.
He's a big boy.
Big Brent. Yeah, man. He was in a mix.
Was tough, man.
He was in a mix. He jumped me.
That doesn't sound like him either. What did you do?
Something, probably.
Yeah,
that was the 04 lockout year, when all the crazies were going on, Did you play in Rochester in 04?
That was my brother Jeff.
Yeah, there it is then.
Okay, so Jeff would scrap. He would fight. He's not a fighter, but he would fight anybody. Unfortunately for him, he was willing. No, I honed my skills and went to Sweden.
Did you go to Sweden? Was that cool?
I had a lot of fun.
What was it, like a big ice, and you're like, oh, I gotta dipsy doodle a little bit.
I loved it. I thought it was great. I mean, I played in a small little town way up north. Yeah. And it was, I don't even think I got paid, but I had a fucking blast. I had a blast.
I get that.
Yeah. What do you guys talk a lot of fighting? You guys, like Cam, I mean, you just talked about beating Brent Thompson's ass. Like, do you guys talk a lot of fighting about your days too?
Well, yeah. I mean, we do it every single day. We had like 320 of these damn things, so we talk all kinds of stuff. But yeah, man, like I bring up my fights all the time.
I remember. Did you not have like a 3-minute fight with Pierre-Luc Leblond in New Jersey?
Oh yeah.
I was on the team then. I was watching that in the weight room. Okay, I was scratched that night, and they played him, and I remember I was just waiting for it to happen because the hyphenator, that's what I call him, PLLL.
Yeah.
And I asked him, I'm like, we talked about you before the game. Okay. Like, he's like, you ever fought Jansen before? I'm like, yeah, I fought him. What's he like and all this stuff. I'm like, he's fucking soft as fuck. Don't worry about him. But I'm like, I told him, I'll give you my scouting report on you if you want to hear it. But I told him, and he was prepared. I said, be ready for a long fight. I'm like, he wants to drag it on. The longer he goes, the better he gets. Like, so if you're going to try to end him fast. And he stood there. You two guys, fuck, I couldn't believe how long. I couldn't believe the refs didn't get in there. Like, it was.
Yeah. It would never happen today.
Never happen today.
They would jump in.
Yeah. Even with the helmets didn't fall off, But he'll knock you out. That guy will knock you out. PLL, you look at him in the minors. He knocked motherfuckers out. Yeah. And he got fucked up in Jersey because I think John McClain was his coach. And I was back with the Blues or whatever the case was. And there was a shit show going on. And I think McClain said, hey, LeBlanc, don't go out there and start anything. And he went out there and started something with the Devils. And I think that kind of was a spiral to him getting out of there. But he fucking knocked guys out in the minors, man. Underrated tough guy. PLL. PL3, baby.
Yeah, he was kind of coming in at the wrong time. If he had come in like the earlier 2000s, or because fighting was starting to kind of, teams were getting rid of guys more and more. You know what I mean? Now they seem to be bringing him. Now they seem to be bringing him back. Do you like what's going on with big boy from the Rangers? What's his name? Fuck, I forgot.
Rempe.
I'd like to ask you about him. I'd love to ask, because someone called me about him the other day, and they asked me. I was, they're like, is this guy overrated? And I said, it's hard to tell. He's 20. He's 21 or he's 22. I'm like, you talk about a guy being overrated when he's 24, 25. Overrated? What do you mean? That motherfucker gets attention. He gets attention. That's exactly what hockey needs. No. I agree with you. No. I agree with you. I'm just talking about from a fighting standpoint. Are you nervous to fight him? Nah, but it's not. Who cares about us? It's the other guys. Like, if I'm besides Delorier, Olivier, or a couple other cats, I'm scared to death of him. Do you see him rock a couple of these defensemen? The fucking boards go all the way this way. I know it's back in the day. Every team had a couple of them. Two guys like you just mentioned. So I don't know what your psyche was like going into a fight, and if you enjoyed it or whatnot. But all I know is certain guys. I worried more about certain guys than other guys. Okay, because there were certain guys I knew that I would never get hurt against, and then there were other guys where I knew that I could really get hurt. Yes. Right? Oh yeah. Is he? Which one is he?
No, he's a let's go toe to toe. I'm gonna get on Sports Center. He's for me as a guy that's under 6 foot. If I go him, I'm gonna eat those. I'll eat those punches. Let's go. You want to go toe to toe? Then we'll get on Sports Center. Like that's the way I'm thinking. But if he's goddamn Derek Bugard, I'm like, ay. My face is gonna cave in, and I'll never play again. Then that's my fucking mindset going in.
That's what I'm talking about. There are two completely different types of guys that you fight. The ones that are gonna it's gonna look really good, and then there are the guys that are really gonna hurt you. And I said this exact name today. I said if he could get beat up by. I think this guy could get beat up by maybe anybody of the heavyweights in the league, or whoever's in there. But I'm just saying to myself, like, I'd be worried about this guy because of his size. Okay. But I don't know that I see him as like a guy that's really going to eat you up. Like David Cosi, the night I fought both you guys in the first period. By the way, did you know that one, Strick?
Listen,
he's a guy.
I was showing him the Cochi fight today.
I didn't even know I fought you
Cochi, he only played 4 games here. And that's the only fight he ever had in a Blues uniform. And somehow he got this jersey over. Like you kind of got caught in a bad spot.
My head was in my sleeve.
Yeah.
God, that's the worst.
And he missed on a couple uppercuts. Did he connect on those or no?
He just missed me. He almost killed me.
The lefty?
Yeah. He's a guy that would hurt you. So, it's like, I don't know what category to put this guy in. Is that fair? Am I the only?
We said the same thing.
Here's my question for both of you, though, because are there multiple categories in today's game? I mean, there may have been when you guys played because you had the elite heavies, but then you had other guys in every team up and down the lineup who would drop them.
Who I think throws the nastiest punch today? Curtis McDermott.
He's tough.
Yeah. Okay.
Curtis McDermott is a legitimate heavyweight in any era. Era.
But who else is in his category besides
in this league
Reaver,
right now?
Maybe. Yeah.
Power-wise, Reeves.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think Reeves. Power-wise, I think Reeves. Delorier. Yeah. Nick Delorier for sure.
Big time.
Mm-hmm. I got to see Olivier a few more times. You're convinced of him, Cam?
Yeah, well, what he did to Rempe. Rempe's lucky his face didn't get caved in like Todd Fedoruk did in 2007 against Boogie. Like that kind of stuff. That will fucking set you back, man.
Yeah.
That kind of shit. You can't get caught like that. So, like, he's throwing down the pipe, and Rempe's lucky he didn't get hurt.
Yeah, I put him in there.
Yeah, big time.
Arbor Jacques guy.
He throws. He's mean.
I don't know though. I mean, other than that,
listen, these are the guys who have who fight at least 5 times a year now. Guys used to fight 15 times a year.
Who's the guy that led the league in majors this year? Liam O'Brien.
Oh, Liam O'Brien from Arizona.
Yeah, okay.
I like him.
He looks scarier than maybe.
He's not big though, Andy.
Right,
he's not big, so it's like I'll deal with that. They're 6'7". I'm like, okay, I got to figure this shit out.
But Rempe doesn't hurt you because, like, he can skate, he can get the puck out of the zone, like
he'll hit you.
He can do. I mean, he didn't play a whole lot, and come playoff time, obviously, he wasn't playing consistently. But these guys have to be able to play nowadays too.
Well, Rempe can play.
Yeah,
that's the thing. He can skate. He's got good skill.
Yeah,
he throws the body. He knows how to play the game. Like he's not a waste of ice time.
No, he skates the puck out of the zone.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
I like him.
How can you not like him? He's captivating, but it's, I'm just looking at it from the standpoint of like actual fighters and guys that I used to have to fight and you used to have to fight, and I just think, man, I don't know. I'd love to see a Matt Johnson take this guy on. I'd love to see George Larocque or Donald Brashear or Derek Bugard, Wade Belak. May they all rest in peace, by the way. Brian McGrattan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like the big boys, the big guys.
We'll never see it.
Hey, what's up with like Matt Johnson? I know you fought him
a couple times.
And you did you piss pump him, and then all of a sudden you guys played like back to back?
So here's the story behind that.
I saw that, and you tripped and you fell, and it's like a nightmare. You can't get up.
I didn't trip. I did not trip. My knees went numb. Okay. And then I snapped back and I pulled myself back up, which was a mistake. Pride got the better of me. But what happened was, came to Buffalo. And it was very early in my time in the league. And I knew he was, if I was going to fight and make a name for myself, he was the top of the list, one of them. Right. So, so I fought him. I did well against him. I caught him with one right in the ear. Okay. And he went down, and then I caught him again in the chin with an uppercut, and he was down, and the fight was kind of over. So we trade for Brad Brown later in the year. He comes to Buffalo, and he tells me the story about the second time we went to Minnesota because he was there. So I guess for like 2 weeks leading up to the game against us, he was not talking to very many people. And I guess leading up to the game, he was just like, it was all about me, all about just getting me back. Because I think I even said something like, yeah, I was asked about it in the media, and being a young, naive, kind of ignorant kid, I was like, yeah, I had a successful fight against Matt Johnson. I know, I see your face, Cam. I see it. And it's just like, so he was waiting for me. And so I'm waiting for him that game to come to me, right? Because I'm like, I beat him last time. I'm waiting for him to come. I'm thinking I'm ready, but I'm not going to go out of my way to try to go 2-0. I'm going to stay 1-0 till he wants a shot at, making it 1-1. First period, nothing. Second period, nothing. Halfway through, we're on the ice together. Midway through a shift, out of nowhere, he comes to the other side of the ice, taps me. And we turn around and we square off. And if you watch that fight, it is, and this is my own mistake. So, I paid for it, but I was very casual. If you watch that fight, I was very, very casual. And I was casual to try to fuck his mindset up, right? To make him think like, fuck, this guy's not even scared of me. You know what I mean? So I can't remember. I don't even remember what happened. I barely have ever really watched the fight, but I've seen it a couple times. And we grab on, and I have a terrible hold, and he fucking belts me. And I don't know if he hit me in the helmet because I was never cut, didn't break any facial structures or anything. He hit me in the second one. So I went down, and then I go and I'm down, and I know I'm down in the fight. And then I pull myself back up. And on my way back up, he fucking drops me. And the entire time I'm thinking, did someone just jump in the fight and sucker me? Have you ever had that happen? Where you get hit so hard in a fight? You can't believe how hard you get hit. So you're thinking someone had to have just sucker punched me in the middle of this fight. Is there a brawl going on?
A third guy came in.
No, just one guy.
The fight ends, and you're like, oh, I was only fighting one guy there.
Yeah. I swear I got jumped. No, it was a 6'7" guy. My God. Hey, he's struggling, by the way.
I know he is. He is. And I've seen the story about him, and I know he's struggling, and I know. I wish I could help him. I know a lot of guys.
They're trying, dude.
How's your head and everything? Like you're good?
No, but I live with it, right? I'm no worse for the wear than any other guy, but I didn't play it a ton, but I quit drinking and all that stuff, and all that was part of it too. I had a drinking problem, but I was popping pills like they were Tic Tacs, and it was, I wasn't addicted to the pills. I just relied on them for the pain, and it, if that makes any sense, at least.
No, you're addicted.
Yeah, I was addicted. The sleeping pills, the Ambiens. Yeah. But that, all that. But ever since I gave all that up, life and clarity has been completely different. And I don't get headaches. But there are effects from what we did. I don't give a shit what anybody says. I'm sure I have CTE, but we'll never know that till we're dead, right? So, hopefully there's a way. I have a neurosurgeon who's a friend of mine, and I'm very proud to actually use those words, that I have a neurosurgeon who's a friend of mine. He works with my brother, but we have developed a friendship, obviously, through my past career and his profession. And, I text him every now and then asking him questions about, CT and things like that. Like, do we ever think we'll be able to detect CTE before someone has to die, in order to detect it? And he's like, yeah, I think so. It's coming. It's amazing what science can do and all this stuff. But yeah, man, I mean, it hurts to hear about some of these guys, Chris Simon and the list. I named 3 guys that I fought. I mean, if you don't think those things go through my mind, I wouldn't say often, but occasionally, like I can't watch football, like I can't watch football.
Get a headache watching it?
No, it's just like these guys are all killing themselves. Like it's like they think they've solved the problem. You know what I mean? It's like,
I know. It's fun to watch.
UFC either? Can't watch that?
Can't watch UFC. I mean, I hate fighting. I hate fighting.
Do you hate fighting in hockey or no? Like, would you like to see the game return to where it was when you were playing?
Not what we did.
Mm-hmm.
But there's definitely something to it because of the physicality of the sport and intimidation. And I had risk of sounding like a hypocrite and contradicting myself. Like the game needs it. It needs it for the safety side of things. Like what we were doing, Cam, we weren't keeping the game safe. We were entertaining. We were keeping the game alive. Okay. And that's what people don't realize is that the game is never going to be safe. You're always going to have guys running guys from behind. Sticks have come down. Sure. There's still spears, slashes, cross checks, all that stuff. Blindside hits are going away, which are all the things that used to have to respond to anyway. Right. So the league's cracking down on checking from behind. But I mean, occasionally you got to jump Jacob Trouba after he hits someone like that, clean or not. You know what I mean? And yeah, I mean, the game unfortunately needs it, but it doesn't need it the way we did it. Not at the sacrifice. I think that's the problem with football too, is we mask the future health issues with buckets of money now. You know what I mean? And it's just like, okay, great, but in 20 years, what is this? Because we all know it's not headshots. Like anyone who knows that a concussion is not caused by a direct shot to the head. I saw one of my teammates sustain his worst concussion with a shoulder-to-shoulder body check, a very clean shoulder-to-shoulder body check, a center ice kind of collision body check where both guys went shoulder-to-shoulder. No, neither guy went down, but this guy was messed up. So say what you want.
Can I ask you this though? I mean, another guy, rest in peace. But I'm sure you've been asked about this fight a million times. But we have you on here, so I'm going to ask you about the Ray Emery fight. Yeah. It got so much attention.
Yeah,
and that was entertaining, right? I mean, you get a goalie fighting a goalie, then the tough guy fighting the goalie.
Well, my mindset, and I'm sure Ray's mindset at the time, was I'm not leaving this ice surface without a 5.
Yeah.
Okay. In one way or the other. I mean, next to me on the ice, the toughest guy in the Ottawa Senators that shift was Ray Emery.
Yeah.
Okay, we had Comrie, Spezza, and Heatley, and I think Volchenkov and Redden.
Phillips. I think Phillips was out there.
Phillips and Volchenkov.
Okay.
I think, and then Ray Emery on our end, or on their end. So, amazing moment, kind of a folk hero moment for me here in Buffalo. Shame what happened to him. I know he was dealing with some shit too. And what's sad about, well, not the whole thing is sad, but what's sad for me about that whole thing is that just a few months before that, he and I'd gotten his cell number, and he and I had been in contact about coming on our show. We were doing The Instigator still on TV and radio here in Buffalo. And he was going to come on. He's like, hey, man, I'm out in Edmonton doing a goalie camp or whatever. And then I delayed, and then I messaged him again, and he was ice fishing somewhere. And then all of a sudden, because you just never think that moment's ever going to go away, at least that quickly. All of a sudden you wake up and you're like, you hear Ray Emery's fucking dead. And you're just kind of like, what? What? And we were messaging, and like, it was just, he seemed like such a cool guy in the messages. You know what I mean? Like, I hated him as a player. I hated hated pulling up to the rink and seeing his white H2 with big white rims. Do you remember this? Do you remember his truck? Were you in the league when he had that?
I remember people
talking about it. It looked like a fucking stagecoach carriage thing. It was like, it was amazing. And it was all white. And I just fucking hated him. I hated him. I hated his look. I hated his smile. I hated everything about him. Like he just was such a competitor, and he loved to piss you off. Right. Like, and then this happens, and but I only ever heard amazing things about him, and I was really looking forward to talking to him. And that was a very sad moment too, because I had a lot I wanted to say. I wanted to say all this to him, and he would have laughed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He definitely would have laughed, and we would have talked about the rivalry, and because that was an amazing rivalry at the time. And then you have, look at the Goudreau, man. Look at God. It's like, but anyway, I just went from one conversation to another.
No, but when you fight a guy like that, it's weird because I had the same feeling with a bunch of guys, and all of a sudden you fight them, and you get it over with, and all of a sudden, you maybe talk and communicate afterwards. You're like, Dad, he's fucking cool as shit. Now I'm going to fight him again, but I like him. Now I get his role and what he's doing.
You were talking to me in Buffalo.
Yeah.
You were talking, you go like, oh, fuck, how great is McKee? Hey, how great is McKee?
That's my boy.
You're just like,
Big
how great
boy.
is fucking McKee? I go, oh, McKee's the man. McKee's the man. Yeah.
Oh, we party.
Jealous you guys have him. I still keep in touch with him all the time, man.
Well, he's gonna be a head coach in the NHL. So maybe Buffalo will hire him. You'll probably hire 3 coaches between him and before you get to him.
Wow. What's great about Jay, though, is Jay's in a great situation. But this guy, man, one of the coolest guys you will ever meet. Oh, yeah. Okay? Unfazed by all. It is incredible. And I'll tell you a quick Jay McKee story. I've told this story before, but I'll tell it with you guys. And he and I went out. He's a secret squirrel. Like he liked to just kind of go and do his own thing. He didn't like all the, he just liked to go and just be quiet and do his own thing. Right. So he's like, hey, you want to come with me after the game? We're in Florida. So we were staying over for some reason. We go down to some strip in Fort Lauderdale. Definitely not in Sunrise, right, Cam? I mean, I don't think Sunrise
is not hanging there.
Has a nightlife. I tried one night in Sunrise to get a nightlife going. There's nothing going there. So we were heading down. We go out. We're out, right? And we're heading back in the cab. We grab these late night calzones, and we're driving back. I spill calzone sauce all over my white golf shirt because we went back to the hotel to change first. And like, what am I gonna do? He's like, and I'm hammered and stupid at the time. He's like, well, I think what you should do is take your shirt off and throw it out the window. I'm like, why? Why would I do that? He's like, well, why would you walk into they're going to know we were out. They're going to have calzone. Where are you getting calzone or sauce at this time of night? I'm like, okay, what do you suggest I do? Throw it out the window. He said, come in with no shirt on. He goes, just tell me you're taking a late night walk down at the beach and you left your shirt down at the beach. He's like just throw your shirt. So fucking throw my shirt out the window. And that's it. We walk into the hotel. Jay goes up the elevator, somehow gets in the elevator, leaves me sitting down in the lobby by myself with no shirt on. Jay goes in, runs in. I pay the cab. Jay runs in, goes upstairs. I'm walking through the lobby solo, so Jay doesn't have to be seen with me. That's Jay. That's Jay McKee, man.
You're like,
guys,
get this elevator down here now.
Get the fuck out of here.
I had a good time with that motherfucker.
Just a secret, squirrely. Yeah.
He had a Ferrari and he had that big ass fucking.
He had the big ass semi truck.
Big ass semi truck.
Just the front of it.
Yeah.
Nicknamed the cheese for a reason, boys.
Yeah. No, I know.
Nicknamed the cheese for a reason. The International CXT he drove. That's right.
He spent money.
He's funny, man.
What's up with number 76? What, you want to be Subban or something?
I was in the league before him.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know where 76 came from. I wore 38 in Rochester.
That's bad.
So I just doubled it when I got to the NHL. You know what I mean?
They gave you 38 in Rochester. Were you like, oh, cool?
Yeah, I'm like, so
I'm not making this team.
So I'm 13th, 14th forward.
Yeah. 38.
13th, 14th, 4. I just chose 76. And then when I got to New Jersey, they gave me 25. You were 25, weren't you?
That's what Lou does.
Yeah.
He recycles numbers.
I remember I was 25 and I went in and John Madden was no longer there and I really wanted number 11. And I went in and asked the trainer, I was like, hey, can I have 11 or are they not giving 11 away? He goes, no, you can have 11 if Lou will give it to you. I was like, well, what do you mean? He's like, Lou picks the number. So Lou gave you 25. But if you want to go ask him for 11, go for it. I'm like, no, 25 is good.
Were you cool with Lou?
Of course. I mean, he bought me out. He did it in a, I mean, it was the only time I was ever bought out, but I mean, he did it in a manner that I thought was extremely classy, doesn't help that I was, about to board a plane to go to fucking Thailand when he calls me. So imagine being trapped in that cage of emotion, that can of emotion, 35,000 feet in the air when you're getting bought out. But called me and he's just like, hey man, he didn't say man. He's like, hey Andrew, I need the roster spot. He's like, nothing personal. He said, if you can't find, he said, I believe you're still good enough to play in the league. If you can't find anything, give me a call. So
everyone always kind of has similar stories, man, about
that was Lou. I mean,
then you went to Thailand and did what?
Untied the knots, man. I untied the knots. It was
Thailand. I was scary sometimes when you party down there.
It's beautiful. What a way to start that trip. Jesus, you get bought out and you're blowing 20K on a trip to Thailand. That's a bad day, gentlemen.
Hey, but what happened though when you went to Vancouver and then like before you retired, you guys whatever had a curfew violation or something? What's the story?
Oh yeah, the old
And then you got suspended or what? What happened?
Yeah. How'd you hear that story?
We know everything, Andrew.
No. I know there was how do you know that story though?
Andy literally knows everything, just so you know.
It's awesome. It's not an awesome story, but it's awesome that you know everything.
Who were you with? Nathan
Pace, yeah. He was one of them. He was one guy. I'm not going to bring down the rest of the guys, but yeah, we got in a. Now I will say this. We did not cause the problem. I can say that because the owner of the establishment that we were at, after they realized we were that we were hockey players, called our president of the team at the time and said, we are not going to be pressing any charges on your guys. And then I started asking, like, well, can I have the tape, please? Because I would like to press some fucking charges on these guys, right? So they're like, just better to leave that alone, right? So anyway, I can't even tell this story. I can't even. It's the all-time worst moment of my career. It's the end of my career. Is basically what it is. And my career didn't end because of the incident. My career ended because I just didn't feel like playing anymore. But this was kind of the final straw in that because I was drinking so much and I was so miserable that I couldn't play hockey and do that at the same time. Like it was impossible. So, we had an altercation, guy with a metal detector. I literally was standing and I was definitely mouthing off to the guy, but not in a manner that was like, I was like, what are you doing? Why are you giving us a hard time? What did we do? Like, that's kind of that's the conversation. Like it's a back and forth. Like, what is the problem here? And out of nowhere, a guy behind him smashes me in the head with one of those wands, those metal detectors. Jesus. Yeah, but here's the kicker, Camp. I didn't go down. Then I didn't go down. So then I think he thought. Then he smashed me again and cut my ear for like 40 stitches. So I'm in the hospital. Man. I'm in the hospital that night, and we have to call the coach, and we're telling oh my God. And I made up this story that eventually the truth comes out in the morning, and I got to go to the team meeting, and I literally have a bandage around my head. Picture
Like Trump.
I was just gonna say that. Damn it!
Yes. No,
I was just gonna say that.
But didn't he just have the earpiece?
He just
on?
had the
yeah.
ear pillow.
I had a
Well, he did
bandage
get
going
shot.
around my head, and I
I'm
had to
sorry
go to
I asked you this. I didn't know it was that traumatic.
Dude, fuck
It's
that.
fucking traumatic.
Fucking right it
This-
is.
You bring this up like
I
it's some
can't
kind of
believe it. I
punchline
thought it
at
was
the
like
end
a
of your
different
show.
I thought it was.
We've
No.
all been through that
Okay.
kind of shit, though.
Listen,
PD.
man. I listen. There's a liquor store down the street. I'm gonna start drinking again.
No,
I
don't
blame
do
you.
that.
Don't
Just
do that.
Don't do that.
Get out of here.
Hey,
When was the last time you drank?
It was 12 years ago, May 15th. So maybe 12 and a half
all
years
right,
now.
congrats on that.
Damn,
That's
boy,
awesome.
good for you.
Yeah.
Can I, before we get out of here, though, a couple
been great,
things
man.
real quick, because the Buffalo fans will be listening.
Yeah.
So you got Lindy Ruff coming back. I like this Darlene. Owen Power I like too. You know, like a different type of player. I think. I'm curious your opinion on him.
Sounds like you're trying to convince yourself of that. I think we all are.
I'm trying. Well, he's not like hot, flashy. I don't know. But you talk to coaches around the league. They account for him. They think he's a good player. Whatever. The jury's still out.
That's the first overall pick. That's what the coaches in the league tell you. That's a problem.
Yeah, I know. So
They account for him. Like Darlene.
Darlene's high end, man.
Darlene, when he was a rookie or second year or third year, when he was at his worst,
Mm-hmm.
okay, at his most youthful, was in his third year,
Yeah.
right? He was still really friggin' good.
Yeah.
He was just making some mistakes on a very shitty team, by the way.
Right.
So he wasn't even a problem, really, to be honest with you. He's still flashy. You were just kind of like blown away by this guy. I don't see any of that from Owen Power.
Man, I said the same thing when he was at Michigan too. When he was coming out, like I'm just like waiting for. He's like a good player, but like didn't stand out the way that you would see all these other first overall picks.
I mean, I wasn't. Yeah, Darlene. I don't know why we were. Racing to get Power on the podium, man. But we'll see. I mean, he's making 8-point-something million coming up. So
yes, he is.
I hope he's ready. That's going to be a crucial piece to this team going forward. That's for sure.
Do you think the organization did Eichel wrong though? Like we just had like Jonathan Marchessault come on, and he's like, oh, he's the best teammate I've ever had. One of the best. People just rave about this guy. He wanted a surgery, like couldn't get it done. He has it done elsewhere, and now he's winning a Stanley Cup and back to being like a generational star again. So. I mean, you mentioned him getting to see, like, that's not his fault, right? I mean, they shouldn't have given it to him.
That's not his fault.
Yeah.
No.
So, like, what? They couldn't make it work with him? Like, something's got to be going on.
Well, here's what happened. Here's what happened with Jack here, okay? And I'll give you some rough examples. I might mix up some names, but, like, let's take, like, Sidney Crosby. When he came into the Penguins, was he alone there? No, he had Gonchar. At some point, he had Roberts. He had Bill Guerin.
He's living with Mario.
Living with Mario Lemieux.
He had Bugsy Malone.
Yeah.
They had veteran guys there to surround him. And there are more.
Zygmunt Palffy. Zygmunt Palffy.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, what's that?
They had Zygmunt Palffy.
Ziggy Palffy.
There. A bunch of guys in Pittsburgh.
There's some good Ziggy Palffy stories out there.
I'm trying to get him on.
There's some good Ziggy Palffy stories. But they surrounded him. It's called insulating. I heard is the fancy word that
Chicago's doing that now with Bedard, right? I mean, some of the guys are bringing in.
Exactly right. What did they do? They go get Foligno. They get a bunch of other veteran guys. They bring them in. They had Corey Perry there,
right?
Regardless of what
Taylor
happened.
Hall,
Patty now, Maroon.
Yeah, they all, So Eichel didn't have any of that. He didn't have any of that. Like, I mean, no offense. He lived with Matt Molson, who's what I heard is an unbelievable guy and a good player. But, I don't know if he's your Nick Foligno, same type of guy, or a Corey Perry, but he's a great team guy, great guy to live with. But you need more than just him. You know what I mean? Like, you needed multiple guys at that time to surround this guy. Like, and he just didn't get it. He had no leadership to learn from. And he was given the keys to the city at a young age. And now as we get further away from the scenario and you let the dust settle and you get to see how it all plays out, and it hasn't obviously all played out yet, but it's played out enough for Jack to say that it's worked for him and everyone's kind of learned a lesson from this. But yeah, I think the team did a real disservice to him, and I don't necessarily want to defend Jack for his time in Buffalo, but I think it's impossible not to, to think that a kid that young who is given so much can stay grounded without any guidance. You know what I mean? So I'm happy for him. I mean, I'll be the first one to tell you I'm happy for him. I mean, I thought that was really cool to see him win a Stanley Cup. It gut-wrenching for Sabre fans, but cool for him because it's a cool story with the neck and everything, right? And that's but and as for how the Sabres handled it, that's so hard to say. I mean, like the surgery worked, but what if it didn't? You know what I mean? And they didn't trade him. What's his value then? I mean, Vegas took the biggest risk here, in my opinion.
They did.
Like Vegas took the biggest risk, and they got the biggest reward.
Mm-hmm.
But
they took the risk after having him evaluated medically and all that. Yeah. Like they felt comfortable with it.
Oh, listen. I'm very clear that I am not going to sit here and apologize on the Sabres' behalf for anything if I don't feel necessary. I just don't. This is such a unique situation. I don't know that I can't say that I would have handled it one way or the other. Because it's, again, like, look at all the perfect storms that lined up to make this what it was. The timing of it, all of it. Like, it's just crazy that he needed a neck surgery when he was wanting out at the same time. Yeah. And then the fact that they were able to get so much for him under the situation, under the condition that he was in, it's unbelievable.
So, all right, last thing for you then. So Lindy Ruff coming back. Is that created any buzz? Like, what do you think of that decision? You mentioned Kevin Adams, like he could be on life support in terms of his future as the general manager. Like, what are you expecting? Like last year at this time, everyone was like, they're going to make the playoffs. I mean, Devin Levi is going to be the rookie, the Calder Trophy winner. Like there was so much anticipation. Tage was coming off his monster year. So what are people saying now as we enter training camp?
Well, it's a different team, but after 13 years, how can you ever say that this is the year? They have different players. They brought in different guys, paid a lot of money to Jason Zucker. So I hope that can pay off a little bit. You need some veteran players like that too. Hopefully he has a lot of game left in him.
He's cool. We just had him on.
Yeah, he's cool.
Shit. I heard he's an awesome guy. I heard he's an awesome guy. And I think he's capable of getting 20 goals this year for your team if you put him in the right situation, like if he's healthy and everything. But I don't think anybody has any idea what to expect. All I'll say is that all the changes that were made to this roster reek of Lindy Ruff. And these are his types of players, the guys that they went and got. So I don't know if he had a hand in Beck Mallenstein,
Sure
I don't know which way to say it, but he is, he was here when that trade happened. So that's got to be one of his guys. And then you have Kubel, Lafferty, and Ryan McLeod. It's a different looking team, that's for sure. And there's no room for a 19-year-old kid, which is nice. That's the best part about it.
You had Savoy. Now you bring in McLeod. So, and you've got some other first-round picks that have created a little bit of a buzz, the kid from Finland or whatever. So,
I don't know.
You got work to do. You got work to do still.
Yeah. Listen, my whole family's from Buffalo. My first hockey jersey I ever got was a Rick Vives Sabres jersey when I was a kid.
The neck collar.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah. So and my uncle still goes to games all the time. I hope.
Yeah, man.
I hope that fan base deserves it, man.
They do.
There's no excuse for the Buffalo Sabres to go through this type of drought.
It's got to get going.
Because I'm telling you, man, like when I don't even need to, but it's an incredible hockey market when things are going well. Listen, I would think Ontario players would want to play there because their families are so close. So you got to give them a reason to want to sign there,
Listen, this team being so soft the last bunch of years has just made me more popular around here.
There it is. Make that money. What's up?
Patty Coletta, Craig Gervais, Cody McCormick, all the guys that live locally that kicked any ass or tried to. I mean, would at least put their soul on the line. Fans are like, man, we actually miss guys like you. It's amazing,
Hey, Coletta, listen.
Come do an autograph signing.
He gave Korea a concussion here, though. in St. Louis.
He
hit him at the blue line. I was critical of that hit back in the day. It might have been.
It was hard.
No, he got the wing out.
It was one of those quick little things, and Paulie was going through a tough time with his head anyway. Yeah. But Patrick Coletta will fucking hit you, and then he'll throw those lefts on you too, and he'll catch you a little bit. You know, he's a tough little fuck.
He'll do anything to make a team. I think in 2007 was his first training camp or something like that, and Vanek had the puck in the corner, and Patty Coletta just comes down, buries Vanner from the behind. Okay, Vanner's got to go to the hospital for like dozens of stitches and maybe even some plastic surgery. I mean, it's like this is training camp. You know, he's just like, I'm just trying to make the team out here. Fucking Patty.
Yeah,
I love
good guy. Good guy.
Amazing guy. He's one of my best friends.
Cool.
Heart of gold.
That's all.
He's actually a very caring, tender guy. Like that's kind of why I love him, because he's really just a soft teddy bear.
Yeah,
but
I like it. Like Rob Ray. Is Rob Ray a soft teddy bear too?
No, not even close.
Not at all.
Not even close.
No.
He's salty and sandy and grumpy and no, but Razor. See, the thing about Razor is that he loves to kind of start that way, but then he backs right off because he's just like that too. We all are, Cam. I can see it, and you're a teddy bear too.
I'm a pussy.
Hey, listen, sorry for asking about that story. I didn't know.
You, dude.
I didn't know where it was going to go. I just heard about it.
It's all good.
No, it's fine.
We've all been through that bullshit.
Listen, listen, man. That was
Keep the great work, man.
Keep doing your thing.
I know what you're doing over there with Craig and everything. You guys have a good thing going too. So
we'll keep in touch.
Keep it up, man.
We'll keep in touch with you, man.
Yeah, appreciate it, boys.
Thanks for coming on, buddy. Right? Go do your thing, baby. Right on.
The Cam and Strick podcast is brought to you by Bellman. BEHLMANN. Bellman Automotive. Located where?
Troy,
Missouri. Buick GMC on one side of the street. Right on the other side, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. Get yourself some new wheels in time for the winter. That was Andrew Peters, baby. Here on the Cam and Strick podcast, again, brought to you by First Form. Send us your order. Do it today, and you will be automatically included, Cam, into the entry for a prize pack from First Form, as well as the Cam and Strick podcast. So do that today, firstform.com/Cam and Strick. That's the link. You got to use our link, though, when you make your order.
Yeah, I remember, Pete was cool. And he doesn't know what the hell's going up in Buffalo. They need to fix some shit. But I did ask him about that fucking... He's fought some dudes. He had some crazy fights with Emery.
He did fight a lot of guys,
He fought a ton of guys. He had a really cool stance to him. Like, he's a big guy. Like, you watch all, like, some of his, like, pictures and stuff like that. I liked his hockey fight stance. He was a high draft pick, too. Fuck, 30.
He was 34th or 36th or something.
I looked at this. Did he dominate juniors that much? I don't know if he...
Dude, it was just a time where he
had
good little hands. You watch him like in warm-up, soft hands and stuff like that.
Fuck.
Andrew Peters is a good dude. He's a very good storyteller, like a good broadcaster.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I always envision, I told Cam, like, if I were to have, like, an event, like, he would be a guy who would...
Oh, if he had, like, an alumni event?
With, like, tough guys to tell stories. And
yeah, he's really good at that. Actually, Andrew Peters had a good sit-down. If you got to watch this, it's awesome, with Ty Domi and Rob Ray, where he narrates and kind of, like, hosts it, and they show all their fights, which is, like, 15
really?
of them. Yeah, and they broke down each one, asked their questions, got chirped, took the chirps well. You know, those guys are chirping him. It's pretty cool. Check it out.
I want to say he used to have like some segments there on television. I think they had like barbecue and stuff like that.
He's got the look,
like grilling with Andrew Peters or something.
He's got the personality, you know.
Yeah, but then when
he said they don't like him.
When you're opinionated,
but we are too in ways. I don't know if was he too much.
You can't when you're
talking to Mike. You know how to do
it. You're
good.
When you're I had to lean back to get my thoughts. When you're criticizing ownership, it's a different ballgame. You ain't winning that one.
Can't win that one, man. You know, it's tough. You could critique. You have to still be real because the ownership group could make bad decisions. I mean, they can. We see this. Well, Tom Stillman doesn't take a beating in this town yet. He could make bad decisions down the line. I tell you what, the St. Louis Cardinals, the ownership groups, from people that are around the rink and stuff like that, and around the field and stuff like that. Yeah, the field. they criticize them big time. They're taking a lot of criticism.
I like the DeWitts, though, man. They're cool.
I know, but there's some things
I'm not
that they
passionate about the Cardinals as much as some other people, so therefore they are critical.
Well, they built downtown. Yeah. You could say that they're probably one of the best ownership groups St. Louis Cardinals have ever had.
Yeah, but they call them cheap and stuff like that.
They do it. They've made some weird decisions with some things. And
would you be cheap as an owner?
That's the thing, Andy.
I think I might be for certain things, man. I'm not looking to just go crazy either in a mid-market.
Here's the difference. You spin up to the cap if you can. To give the people what they want, you would want to be that owner. If you don't spin up the cap, you're going to, what's the point of owning the team and not splurging a little bit? That's your
Hockey's
baby.
No cap in baseball, though.
Baseball's different, dude.
Yeah.
But you don't
compete with the Yankees,
yeah,
dude?
But okay, don't do that.
And the Dodgers?
But you're going to be the Pirates? You're going to be the Pirates, and for 30 years, you do not pay anybody out, and you're just cheap. No, you have a beautiful ballpark. You have people in that town that will go to those games, and you do nothing. Those are the owners I look at like, what are you doing?
I just don't want to ever see the Cardinals lose their history and the tradition. It was like a religion.
Well, why wouldn't?
And it was like a religious experience for people to come to the ballpark and for visiting players to be there. Visiting players would just hang out at the top of the dugout, just look around, like, damn,
it's beautiful down there.
It's the middle of June, and it's like a 7:00 game, and there's 50,000 people here. What is going on? I would do anything to play here, and you don't want to lose that.
Not to mention Cardinal fans.
A lot of people, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears to create that history and that culture.
Well, they've been winning. Look at their
always had Hall of Famers.
Yes, they've had They've had so much history here, and the people that play here too, like Ozzie Smith and whatnot, Hawley, those guys, they stay here and do things and own businesses and whatnot. So,
Hawley.
Well, Hawley's the same kind of way. I'm talking about even both those organizations. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Okay. Way to go, Cam. Good call on that one. Way to talk baseball on the.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, it's sometimes you got to. We see it every day here. You know what I mean?
I know.
Cardinals are gigantic, and they're going through a weird time, and they're getting chirped. The ownership group is by people that are around the team too. I see it.
Yes.
And he treats me like I'm Ty, talking to him, doing fucking coloring books.
Coloring. Here.
And then the Ty's like, Daddy, I like this color. Oh, what? I got to tweet something out. It's all good.
Hey, there's nothing better than all you all you dads out there know this. When you have a kid who loves the game, and then they get to a certain age, and you can take them to the game, and they
love it.
Stare at the game.
Yeah.
And they tell you, he's telling me things that I just wouldn't think that he'd pick up on. He sees what guys
Daddy,
do.
why didn't he get the puck there?
No, when he sees Dvorsky's Dalibor Dvorsky, former 10th overall pick, may not make the team this year. You never know, though.
Never know.
Because you know what I'm curious to see with some of these young guys, Cam? Some guys raise their temperature to the level of player that's on the ice with them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Help me, Matty.
So can he raise his temperature?
Good. And a lot of guys have.
And really push to make the roster.
That's the question.
Surprise it, man. You never know. I can't wait to see.
You didn't even say what Ty did.
And the first 4 preseason games, throw those out the window. So all y'all that want to go crazy about the first 4 games, no.
Who's going crazy, dude?
It's games 5 and 6. The last one, I don't worry about the last one either. But it's those middle ones when you get down to the 30 players in camps.
Yeah, and you're playing against.
And you're playing against the
other
big boys.
teams are like, I'm going to try out my checking line, and I want my top scorers to play against each other.
And it's games 5 and 6.
Yes.
So games 1 through 4, I've seen plenty of preseason superstars in games 1 and 2.
Against another 19-year-old?
And a home game, and the visiting team brings nobody.
Nobody.
Okay? They bring nobody, and this kid scores 2 goals. How's he doing in games 5 and 6?
Against the big boys.
5 and 6.
Now you have your shutdown defenseman going at you.
Where's
you're
his
dangle that kid
level in practice
You're
going to
dangle that kid, that 5th-round pick from Sweden that they got to give a shot to now, or whatever it is. You're going to dangle him.
Say it with me. 5 and 6. Say it with me.
You're starting to get.
Say it with me.
Don't make me be mean, Cam. Don't make me be mean, Cam. Now
5 and 6.
Because now I got
Okay.
ammo.
Okay.
All right.
Fine.
Jeez Louise.
5 and 6. And then and how serious would you take practice? In training camp.
That's another thing, man. That's every day. You're getting scouted in practice
every day. When you're going head to head against a big boy,
and not to mention just the racing, the stopping in front. I know it sounds all cliche. I swear to God, they are evaluating every goddamn thing. Well, he didn't stop 4 times. What do you mean? That should be number 1. Stop in front of the net. He didn't get his first 3 steps weren't hard. Even on little drills like that, they're evaluating you fucking every second.
Two stories I remember that I'm going to share with you real quick, Cam.
God. Oh, God.
Hey, listen.
Is there any booze back there?
Hey,
My God.
Of young kids in training camp.
Yeah.
2 stories.
Okay.
First one you remember very well. Small area game. They bring the nets top of the circle, bottom of the circle. And
can I guess?
David Perron going up against Keith Tkachuk.
You never have fun like that. I would have guessed David Perron.
And I'm telling you that drill helped him make the team out of camp that year.
Embarrassed. Whoa.
He did not shy away from Walt. He competed like the other one, before that, Barrett Jackman's rookie season, training camp. Keith Tkachuk slashing the shit out of him before. Remember, training camp was just scrimmages?
Yeah, it was hard.
You do like a little practice and then you scrimmage. And it was like a game.
Yeah.
So face off in the defensive end, or offensive end for Keith, defensive end for Barrett Jackman. And they were like lined up right next to each other. Keith just starts slashing, just whacking Barrett Jackman. And Jackman just giving it back to him. Just 2-hand right back to him. Hard. Keith was to his right. Jackman to Tkachuk's left. And Tkachuk, obviously, a bona fide star at that point. And he's just giving it to this young kid who's like, hey, I hear you're tough. You think you're tough, whatever. I'm gonna test you a little bit. And Barrett Jackman didn't back down at all. Ends up winning the Calder Trophy that year.
Yeah, Jax will slash in the face. He
he
played dirty.
So those are the stories that I like to talk about because I don't ever want to forget those stories. I want to keep them fresh,
Back in the day, though, man, there was just
fights every day.
Oh God, I remember playing in all the preseason games and with the Devils and stuff. And I just remember going to Philly on that bus ride when I was on the team, but I just knew that they had.
But you feel like you had to fight.
God, yeah, man, absolutely. I put 7 preseason games a year. And I just remember just traveling there, trying to pump myself up. Like, God, who do they got? Then you go in the locker room and the lineup's on the fucking wall. And you're just like, and you look at that fourth line and they got 2 heavies, whoever it was. You're like, you got Brash, Vandermeer's down there, whoever on that fourth line. Riley Cote's in the lineup. Like, oh boy.
Who's the first big name tough guy you fought?
Oh, one of my first training camps with the Devils, I fought DJ King when he was playing for Worcester. And we went for 2 minutes. In that dump.
Playing for Worcester in a preseason game?
Yeah.
He wasn't playing for it was an American League preseason game?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, American League preseason game. Kinger, it was one of my first fights.
But he was still he wasn't established.
No. We fought in the Memorial Cup when he won in Kelowna.
Give me an established guy. That's what give the people what they want.
An established guy?
First guy you fought in a preseason game, established, man.
Jim Vandermeer. I told you I got embarrassed. I was shit kicking everybody in the OHL. And now, this is when all these the Noof and all these fucking internet sites would come out and critique you like no other. And I'm cocky, doing my thing, pumping guys. I was getting a little bit older.
Mm-hmm.
I was 18 or 19, and then I played in that preseason game, which I thought Eric Lindros was in, but he wasn't. It was Jeremy Roenick. Remember, I fucked up when we talked to Lindros. I fought Jim Vandermeer.
Embarrassed the brand.
Embarrassed the brand. That night, Brashear beat up fucking Grant Marshall so bad, and it was a crazy fight. And then I go to Jim Vandermeer at the end of the game. Mm-hmm. My dad's in the stands, flew all the way from St. Louis, and he gets his left out and piss pumps me. And there's a picture of me on the internet on my knees with him over me like I'm pleasuring him.
You don't need
I'm pleasuring him with my mouth. And it was everywhere when I got back to Windsor, and it was horrible. Boom.
So you didn't make the team yet?
No, I was 18, 19. Yeah, that was my first preseason game ever. My dad.
How many camps did you go to before you made the team?
2.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's your 3rd camp you made it?
Yeah.
You didn't even make it out of camp. Actually, your 3rd time.
No.
Got sent down, then you came
because they had Christoph Oliwa and
then you got called up, MSG and all that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway.
Great story, Cam.
Embarrassing, pleasuring him.
Oh my!
That's all it says.
You don't need to say that.
And everybody's like, Janner, dude, you gotta check this out. I'm like, God. Yeah.
You don't need. I mean, the story was great. It was going fine, and then it just twisted.
Andy, his crotch was in my face like this.
Jesus.
The worst case scenario.
Like when Jack and Luke Hughes celebrated when Luke got drafted.
I mean, I wasn't having fun on this one, too. My God.
Hey, we're thinking about you, Luke Hughes, though, by the way. He's out for a couple months.
Oh, no.
Shoulder injury, man. I want to see that guy dominate this year.
Yeah, I hear you.
He'll be back.
Yeah.
New Jersey's another team I'm paying attention to.
God, yeah. We love all y'all.
I'm sick of hearing about all the... It's just fluff. They're in the fluff category.
Yeah.
Every year it's fluff. It's like, oh, this is the year. They're going to, let's see it.
Figure it out. We love you. The fans love you.
Let's
see
go. It.
Let's go then, you know.
Let's see it. IRC, baby.
Yeah, Illinois Recovery Center right there in Swansea, Illinois. Chrissy Pondoff, telling you, these guys are Eric Conley. He runs the show there. They got a great staff. Get well and get well now. They will help you. There's a process. They will help you.
IllinoisRecoveryCenter.com.
Love you guys.
Reach out to me if you want to get in touch with anybody.
Yeah, me too. You know, and he's got a joke
My
about
DMs
things on
are...
a serious note, but
oh
reach out to me.
God, dude,
it's all good.
Don't need to take it there.
You know, just reach out to me. It's all good. Talk to all you all the time.
But I could.
Oh yeah. Andy will be on his phone talking to you, tweeting things out, not paying attention to anything. You see it on here.
Oh,
reach out to me.
I was looking for one name.
You did
and
it.
You're not even giving it to me.
Stories.
You're not even giving it.
You ruined my story.
You don't even know the guy's name from the Avalanche.
And I watch you, and I
well,
pay
there was
attention.
Scotty Parker who got knocked out
talk
by Reed Simpson.
Okay, didn't get it right.
I think so. I mean, it was.
You think so?
Who was the other? You don't know the other tough guy. How do you forget?
I don't know, man. I forgot. Sorry. You know, was it Chris Simon back in the day? You know, was it Chris Simon back in the day?
No, he never. I never saw him get. I mean, he probably did, but I don't
get knocked out.
But not by a blue.
No, he was knocking motherfuckers out like no other. Rest in peace, baby, Chris Simon, and Stephen Pete. Damn it. I hate it. I know.
Hat Launch, baby. HatLaunch.com, America's #1 source for customized hats. Check out HatLaunch.com today. You just send them your logo over, and they got hats for you in no time. T-shirts, hoodies, whatever you want, dude.
Best of the best.
And they have awesome hats that fit your head right. You ever get a hat from somebody, you go home and put it on, and you're like, oh my God.
I'll give it a headache.
Or they like send you a hat, and then you just can't. You just know right off the bat, I'll never wear it.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't fit right.
I got to throw a lot away at my house.
And I'm sure you do. Because you have a very large head.
No, because I'm bald. Oh, wow.
Oh my God. You're chirping yourself there.
He's like Mean Andy.
I didn't say that. Oh, no, next week I'm going to be Mean Andy.
Mean Andy today. You know.
I don't know if I have it in me to do that.
Every time I'm mean to him, I hear about it. Like it's a whole thing.
Oh my God!
It's
like so mean last week.
When I'm rude to Kate or something, it lasts for like 4 days.
I brought it up to Cam last week.
That's what happens with Andy too. I got to deal with. I'm double dipping.
I brought it up to Cam before I even finished my sentence. He's like, "I took it out. I took it out."
Wow.
Because he listened to it, and then
I
apologize. He knows.
I apologize. Like God.
Well, when you hear it, you know it's not right. You don't want to come across that way either. Mean Cam.
I think there's people that when
they would be
that's
like, why you do it.
No, they'd be like, I would say the same thing to him. I think a lot.
Oh, settle down.
Okay.
My people in Saskatchewan.
Like, fucking get them.
Say hi to all the shit kickers.
I love all you guys out there, man. Manitoba, all y'all, all over the world. You know, we got people everywhere listening.
Blue Note Roofing, 314-920-5713. Say hi to Dave Novak.
Dave, what's up?
I lost in his thing, in his...
It's a big deal.
Survivor pool.
It's a big deal.
It's like for thousands of dollars.
We should break that down. We've been here for 3 hours. You should break that down.
I know. I got to go.
People want to hear that.
I got to get going.
Yeah, okay.
I got to go, Cam. Is that all right? I got to get rolling here.
I know
Proper Cannabis. Blue Note Roofing, by the way. Siding, gutters, roofing, soffit fascia. They do everything. Look for the blue and yellow truck with the blue note on it. You can't miss it. Huge hockey fan. Illinois, everywhere.
Yeah.
Blue Note Roofing. 314-920-5713. Proper Cannabis. Use our promo code Caminstrict20. Caminstrict20.
Was there the other day.
And
lovely people.
That'll give you 20% off your order.
Lovely people.
They got everything. So, Proper Cannabis, baby. Do your life right. Get your mind right.
Get that mind right.
It's my line.
Let's go. What is wrong with you? He hates being out of the house. Or hates being at the house.
Cam, at Bellman you get no.
Swinging dicks. None of that. Troy, Missouri. Check them out.
Buick GMC on one side of the street. Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram on the other side. Say hi to Danny, boy.
A lot of options. Danny, what up, boy?
Dale.
Dale, God dang it.
Kenny.
What's up, Kenny? Love you guys out there, man. Hell yeah.
Shilly Plastering, Cam.
You gotta take care of your plastering, man.
Turn your backyard into a
Oasis.
Baby.
You're damn right.
Damn right.
Dang right.
Get that Pebble Tech technology. 5-year warranty comes with that.
It's the best of the best.
They're the greatest.
Yeah.
Say to Ryan.
Ryan, what up? Dave, what's up? All you guys.
All y'all.
Been around a long time.
All y'all. Say that.
All y'all.
Shilly Plastering, baby.
Yeah.
You can do it, man. I'm just telling you. Let them come out and check it out. Sparks.
Andrew Peters.
Sparks hockey, baby.
Oh, God.
Don't let Seth ruin your weekend.
No, you hurt your child. You know, your child will toe pick and fucking fall into the boards, and it'll be horrible. Oh, like it sucks. Now he's hurt. You set back. Yeah. You wasted money on the tournament because dipshit boy sharpened your skates. Yeah. Don't have that. So simplify your hockey stressful life. Mm-hmm. It's stressful.
Use the promo code Cam and Strick. You're going to save more money than Black Friday and Cyber Monday. SparksHockey.com. Because if you walk into a shop and you see Seth there, it's okay to turn around.
Just buy one of those. Most of the time, they're not open anyway.
Get a Sparks and get one today. All right, Andrew Peters, man, we appreciate him joining us.
Right on.
All y'all out there in Buffalo, listen, that's where I'm from. All my family's from there. I grew up in Buffalo a lot. I'm thinking about all y'all, so I'm very passionate about the Sabres and the Buffalo Bills and everybody. Virtue signal. I know what virtue signaling is now because I've asked you a couple times. I go, is this virtue signaling? You said yes.
That's really not, but because I get that. If you know people there.
This is not about the fans, dude.
No, it is about the fans. No. Oh, I care about the fans.
It's not their fault.
No, God, no. No, it's incompetence. Figure it out.
Let's go.
All right, guys. Love all y'all.
Yeah. Support all our sponsors.
See you, homies.
Peace.